अभी आया।
अब ठीक है, अब
हाँ
नहीं
oh shit.
नहीं लाइक
अच्छा ठीक है अच्छा हाँ अभी बुला लेते हैं
ऊपर का बंद करवा दीजिए अभी।
हाँ
ऊपर का बंद करवा दीजिए।
सामने रोड है डिग्निटरी देर क्लोज अप है
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would request everyone to please take their seats. We would be starting with the event. So, a warm welcome and good afternoon to all present here. Today, IIM Calcutta completes 65 years of its glorious existence. It is indeed a day for celebration, joy, and remembrance. It is a day for introspection, and it is a day to communicate our firm resolution to chart a distinctive roadmap as a preeminent institution of management education, research, and development. For the past 6 decades, we have had our share of contributions to the nation. Our service to the country has been through nurturing and shaping bright young minds who have often made us proud through their accomplishments in various walks of life. We welcome you all to the Foundation Day celebrations of the Institute and the Distinguished Alumnus Awards ceremony of 2025. May I invite Sri Krishna Kulkarni, Chairperson, Board of Governors of IIM Calcutta. So kindly take your seat. Swami Sarvapriya Nandaji Maharaj, who is our chief guest today. Director of IIM Calcutta, Professor Alok Kumar Rai. Okay. Professor Sumanta Basu, Dean Development and External Relations, and Professor Bhaskar Chakrabarti, Dean Academic Programs, to take their seats on the dais. May I now invite Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Director of IIM Calcutta, to welcome the guests.
Honorable Chief Guest, Swami Sarvapriyananda ji, spiritual leader of Vedanta Society of New York, Mr. S.K. Kulkarni, Chairperson, Board of Governors of Indian Institute of Management, our respected members of Board of Governors of Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, distinguished alumni, deans, and chairpersons of IIM Calcutta, my faculty colleagues, officers, staff of Institute, my very dear students of the Institute, and members of press and media, and ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to all of you. I have today a distinct honor to welcome each one of you who have gathered today to celebrate the 65th Annual Foundation Day of Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. This day holds deep significance, for it is not merely a commemoration of a beginning, but a celebration of a journey of learning, growth, and transformation. I would like to mention that every year, the Foundation Day lecture is delivered by a person of eminence who has made a very significant impact in the society. This year, we are fortunate to have amongst us a revered monk of Ramakrishna Mission Order. Please join me in extending a warm and respectful welcome to Swami Sarvapriyananda ji. On behalf of the Institute, and also on my own behalf, I sincerely thank him for accepting our invitation to grace today's function. As a student of marketing, I believe such heroic showstoppers should not have been exposed before the grand finale, but our in charge of Management Center of Human Values, Professor Nishigandha, when asked me to hold a special lecture of Swamiji yesterday at MCHV, I could not resist the temptation of listening to him and hence agreed. And what a lecture it was. She herself could not be present because of the sad demise of her mother. I convey the deepest condolence on behalf of entire IIM Calcutta fraternity to her family. I must say, Swamiji, that your presence reinforces a conviction that management, when infused with spiritual insight, can become a force for harmony, inclusion, and sustainable growth. Your words will undoubtedly inspire our community to reflect more deeply on how to integrate human values into every dimension of professional life. Today, as we reflect on the years gone by, we need to remember the vision that guided the establishment of this institute. I'll quote what Guru Vasisht told Lord Rama. Jnanavanen sukhvan, jnanavanev jivate, jnanavanev balvan, tasmat jnana mayo bhava. Knowledgeable person is happy. He only lives his life. He is the one who is mighty, hence be knowledgeable. In Rig Veda also, it is said, Ano bhadra kratvo yanto vishvato dabdhaso upari tas udbidha. Let noble thoughts come to us from all directions. This vision continues to drive us forward, inspiring generations of learners and leaders, and pushing towards excellence. I am Calcutta, the first national level institute in the field of management education in the country, the first triple crown institute in the country, the only Indian member of SEMS, which is a global alliance of 33 leading B schools, that together offers the SEMS Masters in International Management, has recently got 2 re-accreditations done, and the third, that is the EQUIS, is in the final leg, and we are optimistic for an outcome that we have never received before. We also have recently been ranked 50th globally and 3rd in India in QS MIM 2026 ranking. We were ranked 64th globally and 3rd in IM in QS Global MBA 2026 ranking. We were ranked 60th globally and 1st IM in LinkedIn Top MBA 2025 ranking. We were ranked 41st globally and 3rd IM in Financial Times MIM 2025 ranking. We were ranked 61st globally and 3rd IM in FT MBA 2025 ranking, ranked 83 for open programs in FT Executive Education 2025 ranking, and were ranked 78th for custom programs in FT Executive Education 2025 ranking. I'll also share the domestic rankings we had, which was I am Calcutta, that was ranked number 2 in Open Magazine ACRA's Best B School Survey 2025. However, our NIRF ranking has been a challenge, which we are working on and shall soon get the desired results there as well. It is important to realize that the world has moved beyond Industry 4.0, Society 4.0, and Education 4.0 in a very short span. The world is coming back to an era where the role of individuals have again been brought to the fore. Phases of industrialization that started from hunting to agriculture to machines to information and communication technology came back to human centricity, resilience, and sustainability. And this was known as Industry 5.0. It added a personal human touch to Industry 4.0's pillar of automation and efficiency. Similarly, Society 5.0 called for a human-centered society that balances economic advancement with the resolution of social problems by a system that highly integrates cyberspace and a physical space, a knowledge-intensive society and a data-driven society. To address this shift in society, Education 5.0 has been developed, which talks about more humanized teaching with a focus on students' social and emotional development and solutions that improve life in society. Education 5.0 focuses on developing 21st century skills such as critical thinking and problem solving rather than just routine learning. I proudly say that this has been our focus here while designing and redesigning the education. In sync with the dynamics of Society 5.0, Industry 5.0, and thus Education 5.0, the discussions and deliberations have become diversified and delved deeper. The expanse ranges from alternative medicine to artificial intelligence. We want to be exclusive, and at the same time, we also want to be inclusive. Probably these are the issues Swamiji will be addressing in his address. Now, it is a challenge before modern education also to create a comprehensive and constructive relationship and also to be socially relevant. This has called for a need of re-engineering education, institution, culture, and nature of education, as well as educational institution. It is therefore imperative for institutions to be responsive to this dynamics. At IIM Calcutta, we are striving to respond to this change. As you all are aware, our program portfolio has had 5 full-time programs. These were MBA, MBA Executive, PGDBA, PGPX VLMP, and doctoral program. About a month back, we started executive doctoral program, but are soon going to start several innovative programs, and all the groundwork has already been completed. This includes MBA in Design in association with National Institute of Design, MBA in Healthcare in association with a premier government medical institute of the country, and are also going to start artificial intelligence-based certificate, diploma, and degree programs from our soon-to-be started Center of Online Education, which is we are starting in association with a leading global software company, where we are also supposed to get significant financial contribution. We are planning to start this center at our Rajarhat campus. We are also in the process of re-engineering our VLMP and PGDBA program and are contemplating on bringing in international collaborator. We have started a work on a new program on entrepreneurship with a leading university of the US, an MBA in capital markets that is being worked upon to be started in association with National Stock Exchange, Mumbai. So co-creation through collaboration for value augmentation is the new mantra that IIM Calcutta is working on. I'm also happy to announce that we recently have signed MOUs with HDFC Ergo, HUDCO, Housing Urban Development Corporation of Ministry of Urban Development, and Ministry of Communication. Many more are in the offing. We are working on being the knowledge gateway, especially to serve Eastern India. I have personally reached out to all the relevant authorities from Bihar to Arunachal Pradesh, from Sikkim to Chhattisgarh for the purpose. Serving the rest of the country in providing talented human resource for the corporate, country, and society in providing talented human resource. This is high on our agenda. Our success is being reflected in this year's placements too. Very recently, a case study developed by our Professor Bodhibrat Nag on sustainable development of Tuticorin Port Trust had been released by Minister of Shipping in Mumbai in a world-level conference. The ministry asked us to develop a case on green hydrogen energy too. It is high time that we leverage the strength of the institute in finance and computation, which has always been our strength. For special attempts are being made to refurbish our FRT lab, and other IT infrastructures are also being augmented. Attempt is being made not just in our education, but also in our complete working. Work is on in strengthening both the hardware and software of the institute. From classroom and hostel infrastructure to digital and data infrastructure, all are being worked upon. We have finalized the report of our examination reforms committee. Digital evaluation is one of the outcomes students have been asking for long. We have developed our own AI platform by a team led by Professor Sarvana Jaikumar, which we are going to use in evaluation as well. We have got our institute registered on National Academic Depository, NAD, and from this academic year, we are going to provide all the mark sheets and degrees to our students in their DigiLocker account directly. It is also important to mention that none of the above initiatives have costed us anything. We are registered on Government of India One Nation, One Subscription platform, and that is also making us available huge access to quality journals for no cost. So here, procedural simplification, decision-making decentralization, process automation, and system rejuvenation are the key principles which are guiding our decision at the institute. I always believed and practiced, in whatever capacity I've worked at, that an educational institution is of the student. Students are the very purpose of its existence. They should not just be reflected in our words, but also in our deeds. Institutions are set survive, and shine because of their students and student-centric initiatives. They are now being involved here at IIM Calcutta in almost all the non-regulatory committees to have their participation in decision-making. This also makes them more responsible, rational, and help them further their learnings. Today's celebration becomes even more contextual because we are recognizing today some of our most illustrious alumni throughout the Distinguished Alumnus Awards. They are the living legacy of this institution. Their achievement reminds us the power of education and enduring influence of the alma mater. To all our distinguished awardees, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. When our founders conceived IIM Calcutta, they must have dreamt of creating more than just a business school that blends management education with human values, innovation, and integrity. Today, as we look back on our journey, we can say with humility and pride that we have remained true to that vision. Having said this, it is equally important to recognize the fact that we cannot and we should not be complacent of our historical achievements, but continue to work hard to raise the flag higher. I also recognize, and you may join me in this, that no institution is a perfect institution. I also recognize that the systems are never developed. They remain developing. Institutions are evolving. I invite all the stakeholders of the Institute to come and join the efforts and contribute your bit to take the legacy forward. Srimad Bhagavad Gita says, Anirvedo hisatatam sarvotheshu pravartaka karoti safalam janto karma yacha karoti sa. Freedom from cynicism and negativity takes us on to the path of development and provides us happiness. Courageous efforts of mankind is bound to attain success. Looking towards the future, let us remain anchored in our mission to develop, innovate, an ethical future leader capable of managing change and transformation in a globally competitive environment, and to advance the theory and practice of management. Such leaders who not only excel in business, but also serve humanity, leaders who understand that managing enterprises begin with managing oneself. As we celebrate this Foundation Day, let us express our gratitude to all who have contributed to the journey of IIM Calcutta, our visionary founders, our dedicated faculty staff, our brilliant students, and our ever-supportive alumni and partners. Each one of you has been a pillar in this edifice of learning and service. May this day inspire us to build on our legacy with renewed purpose and passion. Together, let us continue shaping a future where knowledge leads to wisdom and success is measured not only by profit, but by principle and purpose. At the end, I again take the opportunity to welcome each and every individual present here with the line from Srimad Bhagavad Gita that says, Swasti Astu Vishwasya. Thank you everyone for being part of this special day. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir. May I request Sri Krishna Kulkarni, Chairperson BOG, to hand over the flower bouquet to Swamiji. To begin the Distinguished Alumnus Award Ceremony 2025, may I now invite Professor Sumanta Basu, Dean Development and External Relationships, to say a few words regarding the Distinguished Alumnus Award.
Swami Sarvapriyanandaji Maharaj, Head Vedanta Society of New York, our esteemed chief guest, Sri Krishna Kulkarni, Chairman, Board of Governors, Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Director, IIM Calcutta, members of the board, deans, faculty, staff, alumni, students, and our honored guests, the ones who are here with us in the auditorium, and the ones who have joined us virtually. It is my honor and privilege to announce the names of the recipients of IIM Calcutta's Distinguished Alumnus Awards for the year 2025 on the 65th Foundation Day of the Institute. Before I do so, it is only appropriate that I say a few words about the Distinguished Alumnus Award. The Distinguished Alumnus Award, or DAA, was instituted in the year 2011, the Golden Jubilee year of the Institute. So far, 78 of our illustrious alumni have been conferred with this award. With 6 awards being conferred this evening, we reached the total number of 84. This year's awardees came from diverse domains: business leadership, entrepreneurship, research, technology, and social development. Yet, they are united by the set of remarkable qualities: visionary thinking, commitment to innovation, deep ethical grounding, and an enduring passion for making a difference. They remind us that the true leadership is not about the achievement, but about the impact, about leading with empathy, resilience, and a sense of purpose. But beyond being the part of their professional journeys, what truly defines IIM Calcutta as its soul? Every IIM Calcutta alumnus knows that the Institute is much more than its formal interaction. It's the mini Howrah Bridge that connects minds with 5 friendships, the jetty where the ideas and laughter flow over endless cups of coffee, and the canteen that comes alive at midnight with stories and debate. It's also the classrooms where the intense discussions or dreams, depending on how to utilize the class time, push the boundaries of the thought, and this very auditorium where countless cultural evenings, debates, plays, performances have brought us together as one vibrant community. These experiences inside and outside the classroom don't just shape business leaders. They shape human beings who learn to think deeply, care genuinely, and lead with authenticity and heart. As we honor our alumni today, we also celebrate the spirit that makes IIM Calcutta what it is, a place where intellect meets imagination, and where learning is as much as about life as it is about leadership. Let us continue this journey together, carrying forward Joka's legacy of excellence, empathy, and enlightenment. May IIM Calcutta always remain a source of inspiration, a space for discovery, and a community bound by the shared pursuit of truth and purpose. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Professor. I would like to request Professor Basu to kindly announce the first awardee this afternoon.
The first alumnus to receive the Distinguished Alumnus Award 2025 is Mr. Gaurav Deepak, Alumnus 33rd batch. Gaurav, please.
May I request Mr. Deepak to come on stage? I also request Professor Ayesha Arora to come on stage and read the citation for Mr. Deepak.
We take immense pleasure in honoring Mr. Gaurav Deepak, an alumnus of the 33rd batch of IIM Calcutta, for his outstanding contributions in the fields of social and corporate entrepreneurship. Mr. Deepak co-founded Alumnus Capital Private Limited in 1999 and has served as its Chief Executive Officer since 2020. Over the past 25 years, he has helped build Alumnus into one of India's most respected and diversified financial services firms, spanning across investment banking, institutional equities, asset and wealth management, and credit solutions, all focused on empowering India's entrepreneurial economy. An alumnus of IIT Kanpur and IIM Calcutta, Mr. Deepak combines strategic discipline with entrepreneurial drive. His leadership philosophy is rooted in growing the organization around talent, doing the right thing, and striving for excellence, innovation, and skill. Principles that have guided Avendus' evolution and shaped its impact on India's financial landscape. He is deeply passionate about the role of entrepreneurship in driving India's growth story and about building institutions that combine purpose with performance. Under his leadership, Avendus Capital Private Limited has become a trusted partner to many of the country's most dynamic entrepreneurs and investors, united by a commonly shared belief in long-term value creation and innovation. Beyond work, Mr. Deepak enjoys spending time with his family and friends, traveling and pursuing his passion for sports. Known for his curiosity and love of stories, he often draws from cinema and books to distill complex ideas into simple, relatable insights. We acknowledge Mr. Deepak's significant achievements as an exemplary entrepreneur with immense pride and bestow upon him the Institute's highest honor for its alumni, the Distinguished Alumni Award.
May I request Professor Alok Kumar Rai to welcome Mr. Deepak with the shawl and the citation scroll. May I request Shri Sri Krishna Kulkarni, Chairperson BOG, to hand over the Distinguished Alumnus Award to Mr. Deepak. And thank you. So, may I request Mr. Deepak to share his thoughts for about 5 minutes, sir, please.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Swamiji, and the distinguished guests on the podium, and friends and faculty in the auditorium, and my fellow alumnus. Words escape me. I'm deeply honored and a bit emotional today. There is no greater honor in my mind than to be recognized by your family, your friends, and an institute. It is really a privilege and an honor. Thank you, everyone. As I reflect, when I heard the news about a few months back, what came back to me were my years at IIM Calcutta. That was my first feeling. And the only thing I remember from the time was the 2 years of abundant joy that I had at this place. I still remember my first day landing in IIM Calcutta. This was, and all of you know the rainy seasons in Cal. So I land here, I was living in Lucknow, I took the Howrah Mail, and I come to IIM Cal, and it's raining and it's pouring at 6 in the morning. And then you have lakes, and this is not my imagination of the institute. You walk in here and you see pouring skies and lakes, and I said, what a place I've come to, fantastic. And the next 2 years were just absolutely fabulous and life-changing. IIM Calcutta was a place where it gave me space. The classrooms were amazing. It let you be what you wanted to be. It let you explore who you want to be. It gave you space and time to discover your own passions and discover yourself. It was a very liberating environment way back in '96 that I encountered. It was structured, at the same time very informal. And growing up, I realized I went to a great engineering school before this, but it was at IIM Calcutta truly I found what I really wanted to be. what I really wanted to explore in life. So thank you, IIM Calcutta, for that, and thank you. This is always, always be cherished on that count. You know, I remember internet was just starting in India at that time. It was 1997. We didn't have internet facilities in a meaningful way. IIM Calcutta had one of the most advanced computer center even then. I purposefully took a summer training in Cal, where all my friends were running off to Bombay, and I had this summer training at Telegraph, selling classified ads. But my passion actually was, I would come back at 4, and I think at 4 to 12 every day, I was in the computer center. I was actually, all the bandwidth was for me. And 97 was a fantastic year. For 97 of summer, I would have actually known more about the world in those 2 months than I actually did. So, and again, that's one memory of IIM Cal that I would never forget, what those 2 months meant to me. But also very importantly, I want to thank my professors, who again, I remember a course. Can you believe it? There was a course offered in IIM Cal called History of Indian Business and Indian Business Communities. It was the first time the professor himself did the research and offered that course. And for a finance student, it gave me immense insight into what India was all about. And that was the research and discovery of this place. We went beyond what was text. We went beyond what was actually there. And that opened me up what I wanted to be. Actually, that course single-handedly triggered my passion for entrepreneurship. You know, my dad was in government service for 40 years. And I remember the day when I told him I'm going to turn an entrepreneur. And Avendus, I had the, well, it was serendipitous, but me and 2 other friends, Ranu and Kaushal, ended up starting the firm when we were 25 and 26 and 27. So I was 25, landed in Bombay. But again, something at the back of my mind was the entrepreneurship of India. Again, crystallized, and you know, the seed was sown by that one single course that I encountered in IIM Cal. So this is how things, you know, kind of move things, because there was nothing in my life. Dad been a government servant for 40 years, at that point 30 years, and I was supposed to do a life of work. So this is how things shape you. And last but not the least, at IIM Cal, my group of friends. I have formed, I was New Hostel, E200s, and that wing is my strongest support structure I ever had in my life. You know, we are 14 of us. You know, and as we have grown older, we have realized that we mean more to each other than anything else. We have families, etc., and those friendships. And again, the one, you know, so IIM Calcutta, I'm so grateful for so many things in my life. Me being an entrepreneur, my friendships, my life, my courage, my passion. Let me say a few things about why I'm here and why you've chosen me. You have chosen me because what is Avendus today. That's another side of my personality. You know, as an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur who had the, well, God was kind to me to make me start very early. It has become a second life. I have 3 boys, you know, and Avendus is my first boy. You know, I started it earliest, right? I'm very grateful for my colleagues and my clients. You know, one of the things that when you end up starting early is you don't have a boss, you don't have a mentor. You don't have someone who will tell you what's wrong or what's right. It's my colleagues who have had the courage to talk to me and tell me, and my partners, Kaushal and Ranu, who have shaped my thinking. It is my clients. You know, my clients are almost entrepreneurs. There is someone I know here very well, Sandeep, you know, who's known me. And it's my clients who have been fantastic entrepreneurs. It's my colleagues and my partners who have shaped my thinking. And I'm very grateful for that. I didn't have a boss. I didn't have a mentor. But learning from them, seeing them across the years, and, you know, sort of, and obviously, you know, sort of as you build a business in India over 25 years, we just completed 25 years, you go through many things. One, you know, for my one take, which I realized over a period of time, to be honest, at least for us at Avendus, and for a lot of businesses I've seen, the one thing that I will get, you know, sort of at least like to say about, it's all about people and culture. You know, organizational behavior, when it was taught at IIM Calcutta, I didn't understand how important it would be in my life. But when I started running a business, I actually realized whatever product and service you create, it is all about people and culture. And one of the things that I'm very grateful we have been, you know, sort of got fantastic colleagues at Avendus, fantastic clients, but I'm most proud of what we have built as a people, culture, and the institutional we are building. And I hope that the 25 year of roots that we have will make it last the next 100 years. And I see myself only as a custodian of the business. And the institution should last far beyond and continue to make us proud. We have a lot of IM Cal alumni at Avendus. We've been hiring from, practically the first year we started the firm. And, a lot of them are shaping what we are at Avendus today. So IM Calcutta has contributed in ways more than one. And the most importantly at the last, I would like to thank my parents and my family. They've sacrificed a lot in my childhood to make me become what I am. Mom's food and love, dad's discipline and value systems. There is nothing, I would be without it. The resilience, the courage, the empathy, the discipline, the orientation to excellence. And you go back to what, every time, when I'm looking at my 3 boys and talking to them, my mind goes back to what I grew up with, what dad would have said. As a first-time dad, you always go back to your childhood and said, how to solve this problem. My son is applying to college, and I'm going back to my IIT days when I was preparing for college, and what went through me, and what actually must be going through him. So, and how did a kind of dad and mom came to my support and help. So thanks to them, thanks to my amazing family, my boys, my wife, and my friends. I hope to kind of continue to do you proud. I hope continue to do my family proud as we move from here. Thank you again, everybody, for having me here and giving me this award. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very insightful to know about the fact that you are giving such importance to your brainchild as if it's your own. And I'm sure that there are a lot of young minds out here who are just waiting for a mentorship and thinking when would the time come when they would be on this side of the stage telling their story. And you're just inspirational. Thank you so much. I would like to request Professor Sumanta Basu to kindly announce the name of the second awardee this afternoon.
The second alumnus to receive the Distinguished Alumnus Award 2025 is Dr. Rajesh Tandon. Please.
May I request Dr. Tandon to come on stage, please? I also request Professor Samarth Gupta to come on stage and read the citation for Dr. Tandon.
We take immense pleasure in honoring Dr. Rajesh Tandon, an alumnus of the 9th batch of IM Calcutta, for his outstanding contributions in the field of public policy for social development. After completing B.Tech in Electrical Engineering from IIT Kanpur, Dr. Tandon graduated from IM Calcutta with a gold medal. While completing his PhD in organizational behavior from the Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio, he did field work amongst the tribal farmers in southern Rajasthan. That experience inspired him to work for the transparent and accountable delivery of basic public services for the poor and the excluded. Applying principles of management in planning, monitoring, and organizational development, he had set up a research and training civil society organization named PRIA in 1982. PRIA's pioneering contributions promoted community participation based on the methodology of participatory research in fields of literacy, women empowerment, primary healthcare, water, and sanitation. Dr. Tandon's research and capacity building innovations supported various government programs and civil society initiatives. With his advocacy, the Planning Commission of India integrated participation of beneficiaries in the design and implementation of social development programs since early 1990s. The Planning Commission's guidelines for participatory micro-planning for panchayats and nagarpalikas are based on PRIA's models. PRIA's innovative participatory training and methodology has been used in many government training institutes, both nationally and internationally. Dr. Tandon has led a national coalition to build capacity of more than 1 million elected panchayat leaders, especially women, after the constitutional amendments made local governments a reality. His efforts incubated more than 300 grassroots civil society organizations in poorest districts of the country. His research efforts led to formulation of national and international policies for development partnership with civil society. Dr. Tandon has served on advisory and accountability panels for many multilateral development institutions like the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, United Nations Development Programme, UNESCO, and others. He has supported policy development on community-engaged learning and research under the National Education Policy in India, as well as in analogous fora in Malaysia, Uganda, South Africa, and Colombia. Apart from Priya, he has also been founder chairperson of Voluntary Action Network India, the first national platform of civil society in India, president of Asia South Pacific Basic and Adult Education Association, co-founder and chairperson of Civicus, World Alliance of Citizen Participation, co-founder and chairperson of Forum of Democratizing Global Governance, co-chair of UNESCO Chair in Community-Based Research and Social Responsibility in Higher Education since 2012. In 2007, the Government of India had honored him with the prestigious award in social justice for his distinguished work on gender issues. In 2008, the University of Victoria in Canada awarded him an honoris causa of the Doctor of Law. In 2015, the Indian Adult Education Association awarded him the Nehru Literacy Award. A prolific writer and speaker, Dr. Tandon has written 15 books, dozens of articles, and training manuals on the themes of participatory research, participatory training, civil society, participatory governance, and knowledge democracy. He is the first Indian scholar practitioner to be inducted to the International Adult and Continuing Education Hall of Fame, class of 2011. He is also the first Indian scholar to be inducted in the Academy of Engagement Scholarship in 2019. We acknowledge Dr. Tandon's significant achievements as an exemplary scholar with enormous pride and bestow upon him the Institute's highest honor for its alumni, the Distinguished Alumni Award.
May I request Professor Alok Kumar Rai to welcome Dr. Tandon with the shawl and citation scroll. May I also request Sri Krishna Kulkarni ji and Swami Sarvapriyanand ji to hand over the Distinguished Alumnus Award to Dr. Tandon. May I now request Dr. Tandon to share his thoughts.
Namaskar. This auditorium is new for me. I graduated from IIM Calcutta 51 years ago, having walked the road from Chidiya Mode to the old campus at 56 Barakpur Trunk Road. Some of you may remember that. The institute at that time was a small place, but had wonderful students and great founding faculty. As I stand here, I remember the likes of Professor Nitish Dey, Dr. Jati Sen Gupta, Professor Ramaswamy Iyer, Professor Dharni Sinha, and Dr. Kamala Chaudhary, many of whom inspired us and suggested ways in which we could contribute. I must also mention that my first paycheck in life came from my appointment in IIM Calcutta to do research and do co-teaching in the faculty of organizational behavior at that time. However, I was encouraged to go and do PhD because even at that stage, it was said that if you want to be a teacher, you might as well do a PhD. So I went to Case Western Reserve and wanted to do thesis in India because I didn't want to stay around there. And I decided to look at management of rural development programs in tribal area of Udaipur district in Rajasthan. And that 1 year of thesis work opened my eyes. I realized that management of public development programs required a lot more capacity than was available. Block agriculture officers, block development officers did not have the capacity to do planning, to adapt national programs to local context, and least of all, did not know how to work with communities for whom these programs were meant. So that 1 year of experience taught me that without people's own participation, no program can become sustainable. And in order for that participation to emerge, we have to learn to value communities' own knowledge, even if they have not been to IIM. And that realization became the foundational principle of participatory research. We began to realize that knowledge resides even outside the alma maters of this kind. And that knowledge based on experience and generational wisdom requires to be harnessed when we want to add modern, new knowledge. And as the citation says, I went on to set up PRIA, and primarily to build the bottom-up participatory approaches for sustainable development in our society. And over the years, that methodology gained a lot of acceptance. In the last 8-9 years, I have been, as was mentioned by the director, I have been involved in social responsibility of higher education. As UNESCO co-chair for last 12 years, and I've worked very closely with national education policy in its formulation. And the fundamental principle of social responsibility is that higher education is only partly meant for our individual gain and benefit, but its primary purpose is public good. And in order for that public good to happen, higher education must find a way to serve the society around. And that principles of management, as we have all learned in this wonderful institution, are relevant to the context where a woman is selling tea outside the campus. She is also a micro-entrepreneur and takes more risk than any of us do. And a theory of a firm, microeconomics, also applies to her, and she does all the management of inventory and pricing and demand and supply because she knows that's how business can be done. I would hope that in the coming period, institutions like IIM Calcutta and others in this country apply the best talent and expertise they have to address some of the societal problems of our time. If 80% of our economy and our workforce is in the informal sector, institutions like IIM need to develop theories and practices which serve that vast body of our society. And I hope that this recognition that I have received will inspire not only those of you who are in the MBA program now, but also some of you who may aspire to send your children here as well. So thank you very much, and thank you once again. I feel really honored for being here.
Thank you, Professor Rajesh. As we were talking, you are one of the pioneers of participatory research, and IIM Calcutta currently has courses on diversity and inclusion, creating social enterprises, marketing for the bottom of the pyramid, and such wonderful courses which probably you have led the foundation for. So it is an honor to hear you in person. May I now request Professor Sumanta Basu to kindly announce the third awardee for the evening.
The third alumnus to receive the Distinguished Alumnus Award 2025 is Dr. Balasubramaniam Ramesh, Alumnus 18th batch. Dr. Ramesh, please.
May I request Dr. Ramesh to come on stage, please? I would also request Professor Rohit Negi to come on stage and read the citation for Dr. Ramesh.
We take immense pleasure in honoring Dr. Balasubramaniam Ramesh, an alumnus of the 18th batch of IIM Calcutta, for his outstanding contributions in the fields of academics and research. Dr. Ramesh is a Regency Professor and George E. Smith Eminent Scholars Chair at the Georgia State University in Atlanta, United States, where he also serves as the chair of the Department of Computer Information Systems. An internationally recognized information systems scholar, Dr. Ramesh's research pioneers AI-enabled approaches to knowledge-intensive processes in complex organizational settings. His research also spans requirements engineering and traceability, agile software development, and responsible AI. He's widely recognized for his scholarly impact, ranked among the top 1.2% of information systems researchers worldwide for career impact. Dr. Ramesh's pioneering work in requirements traceability introduced conceptual models and AI-driven approaches that transformed how organizations design complex systems. His models are embedded in several major research and commercial tools, including product lifecycle management platforms used by thousands of organizations worldwide, amongst them NASA, Apple, Tesla, and the New York Metropolitan Museum of Modern Art. In recognition of the real-world impact of this work, Dr. Ramesh received the Association for Information Systems Impact Award in 2023. He is one of only 3 scholars worldwide to have earned this honor individually for information systems research with significant influence on practice. Dr. Ramesh was an early pioneer of agile software development research and more recently has led major initiatives in responsible AI and cybersecurity. His research has been funded through over 25 competitive grants with major backing from the US National Science Foundation, US Department of Defense, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, and industry leaders like Google. He currently co-directs a DoD Center of Excellence focused on responsible AI and is a principal investigator of a Google-funded AI Pathways Consortium with MIT, which will bring AI education to over 250,000 students across a wide range of educational and socioeconomic settings. As chair of Georgia State's Computer Information Systems Department, Dr. Ramesh has helped in shaping it as a global leader in IS research and a home for top-ranked undergraduate and grad information systems programs that also prioritize broad access to high-quality education for students from all backgrounds. He led the department to earn designation as a National Center of Academic Excellence in Cyber Defense Education, an honor held only by a handful of IS programs in the US. Professor Ramesh is equally acclaimed for his teaching and mentorship. He received the University System of Georgia's Regency's Teaching Excellence Award and was inducted into its Faculty Hall of Fame, the system's highest honors for teaching. He has worked with nearly 40 doctoral students, many of whom have gone on to be faculty and leaders at universities worldwide. Beyond his own institution, Dr. Ramesh has been a contributor to the global information systems community and has served on the editorial boards of leading journals and held leadership roles in international conferences. Renowned for his integrity, vision, inspirational teaching, and collaborative leadership, he exemplifies the values of scholarly excellence, innovation, and a deep commitment to expanding access and delivering societal impact. We acknowledge Dr. Ramesh's significant achievements as an exemplary scholar with enormous pride and bestow upon him the Institute's highest honor for its alumni, the Distinguished Alumni Award.
May I request our distinguished alumnus to be felicitated and share a few words. So kindly share a few words.
Pranam Swamiji, Chairman, Director, distinguished faculty, distinguished guests, students. It's overwhelming to be standing here as I reflect on this journey from very humble beginnings in a Tamil medium school in a small town to standing here. I'm reminded of the many blessings in my life. I want to take a few minutes to acknowledge the grace, the blessings, the support I've received from so many. First, I want to start with the grace of my guru, who's that has stood me, eliminated the many paths, very unusual ones I have crossed, and sustained me during the many challenges that one faces as a part of life, and stay humble with the few successes that have come my way too. I'm indebted forever to my parents, who made so many sacrifices so that I could pursue my dreams. I'm sure Appa is beaming in the heavens and Amma in Atlanta, so I can't ever thank them enough. I have a very loving family, my wife Meera, my sons, Pranav and Nikhil. Probably they are the best cheerleaders one could ever ask for. They put up with all my long nights and long projects and helped me stay focused on what matters in life. Gave me, still continue to give me a wonderful, happy home that helps me do what I do. I've been very fortunate to work with some really renowned scholars, great students. I've learned a lot from them, and that's priceless. I also finally want to acknowledge the 18th batch, probably the best batch this school has ever produced. No questions. Okay. Every one of them is a DA in my book. Okay. There are a couple of them here, Ajay and JJ. On behalf of that batch, please accept my sincere thanks for all the support they have provided and all the inspirations they have provided. Okay. I want to talk about two aspects of my life, the unusual journeys I've taken very consciously. These are not journeys that a typical academic takes. One in the realm of research, another in the realm of education. First on research. I was very fortunate to start working in AI before it was cool, in the late 80s onwards. Now we built a bunch of tools, models to help organizations manage knowledge-intensive processes in complex settings. One of the important decisions we made was to put all of that work in open source so that they could be made available to anyone who wanted them. A lot of my friends have commented on this, saying that, hey, you're trying very hard not to get rich. That was okay with me because the satisfaction you get from seeing your work go to places you never imagined it'll go to, in aerospace, in manufacturing, in chemical plants, in even museums like the Metropolitan, is just priceless. One of my cousins, Dr. Krishna, an eminent scientist, always used to say, you should do science for the sake of science, nothing else. I think it reflects what Krishna's teaching in the Gita too. I'm really glad I took that path. These are not things that will show up on an academic's resume as things that matter, but the good you do to practice based on this work is just amazingly satisfying. Another unusual path I've taken is in education. I happen to work at an institution that caters to students that come from very challenging socioeconomic backgrounds. About half of our students come from so-called Pell Grant families, the grants that are given to low-income families. More than a quarter of them are first-generation students. Many of them hold 2 jobs, and some have managed to come to school and study. These are students that don't have the typical opportunities those who have the resources will get. So we worked very hard to make that possible for them. I also happen to work in a department. I'm an academic leader of a department that is typically ranked among the top 5 in the world. So blending that excellence with high quality education is a very big challenge. So I could somehow convince my colleagues to create programs. Both undergrad and grad programs we've been able to create are in the top 10. And also, this is a very rare combination of academic excellence, high quality programs. but we focused on access. Access of these programs to students who will not normally benefit from these. And the results are just phenomenal. That we also do it at scale. We are one of the largest programs of its kind in the US. So we are able to transform the lives of hundreds of students with opportunities they would never get anywhere else. And it not only we are in the business of changing lives. I really can truly say that. And it not only changes the lives of the students we impact, but also their entire ecosystem. Their families, their friends, they all get positively impacted by what we do. Again, not something that typically shows up on the KPIs with which academics are judged, but immensely satisfying to do that kind of work. So we're able to bring academic excellence with social good. So these two experiences, I want to talk about the lessons for myself. One of the things that taught me is that the true measure of success in life is not in comparison with someone else, but the quiet test of one's own growth. Rather than chasing someone else's version of success, one should define, we just honor our own journeys. Each of us take different paths. Each of us have different challenges, different resources. So all we need to do is to figure out what really matters to us and pursue those dreams. It doesn't matter what someone else thinks about this. And you can't measure the immense satisfaction if you pursue a dream that is both purpose-driven, has societal good, and is done with integrity. Okay. So again, to close, I'm really, really deeply humbled and honored by this award. I again want to reflect on the many blessings in my life, the grace, the blessings of family, the support of friends and family. Thank you for taking the time to bestow upon me this incredible honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey. I would like to request Professor Sumanta Basu to kindly announce the fourth awardee for this evening.
The fourth alumnus to receive the Distinguished Alumnus Award 2025 is Mr. Ajay Jain, alumnus of the 18th batch.
I request Mr. Jain to come on stage, please. I also request Professor Shonak Thakur to come on stage and read the citation for Mr. Jain.
We take immense pleasure in honoring Mr. Ajay Jain, an alumnus of the 18th batch of IIM Calcutta, for his outstanding contributions in the fields of entrepreneurship and management. Mr. Ajay Jain, who is an accomplished entrepreneur, corporate leader, and educator, brings over 4 decades of experience across Indian and global businesses. He has led successful turnarounds, driven international expansion, and built ventures in the clean tech and sustainability space. He is recognized as a leading sustainability and water industry expert. As an alumnus deeply committed to IIM Calcutta, his engagement with the institute spans more than 3 decades. He has served the alumni community in multiple leadership roles as president of the alumni associations in Delhi and Mumbai, and as vice president in Chennai, strengthening bonds amongst graduates and building enduring networks. For the past several years, he has contributed to the institute's growth and innovation ecosystem, both as a member of the Institute's Board of Governors and as chairman of IIM Calcutta Innovation Park, guiding its mission of nurturing startups and entrepreneurs. His career spans over leadership roles at SRF Group and Raymond, and more than 15 years as a corporate business head before returning to entrepreneurship. He has nurtured innovation and mentored the next generation of leaders through teaching, guiding startups, and supporting social impact initiatives. As an entrepreneur, he has set up businesses in Kuwait in the 1980s and established 2 businesses in India. A social worker since his student days, he has been supporting education for underprivileged girls and empowering youth from rural communities. He is actively involved in accelerator programs, Josh Talks, and other innovation-driven initiatives. He has addressed multiple forums on the need for robust entrepreneurial thinking for successes in the corporate world and on entrepreneurship. He is ardently passionate about sustainability and water management and has worked extensively in clean tech, advised on national platforms, and taught at leading institutions including IIM Calcutta, IIM Trichy, and the Great Lakes Institute of Management. True to his belief that a leader must develop other leaders, he has inspired students, colleagues, and entrepreneurs who now hold leadership positions in India and abroad. Beyond work, he finds joy in music and travel. We acknowledge Mr. Jain's significant achievements as an exemplary entrepreneur with enormous pride and bestow upon him the Institute's highest honor for its alumni, the Distinguished Alumni Award.
May I request Professor Alok Kumar Rai to greet Mr. Jain with shawl and citation scroll. May I also request Sri Krishna Kulkarni ji and Swami ji to hand over the Distinguished Alumnus Award to Mr. Jain. May I now request Mr. Jain to share a few thoughts.
Adarniya Swami Maharaj, Pranam. Respected Chairman, Board of Governors, Shri Krishna Kulkarni ji, Director Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Deans, faculty members, staff, distinguished fellow awardees and students. I stand before you deeply humbled and immensely grateful to my alma mater and the selection committee for bestowing this great honor. My heartfelt thanks for this incredible recognition. Truly a very significant milestone in my life. I owe this distinction to my mentors, my professors, and my family, whose unwavering support has guided me throughout my journey. To be honest, this was probably a dream I never dreamt. When I graduated from the hallowed portals of this great institution, I had many aspirations, but this recognition was beyond my imagination. And to all the students present here, this is something which you should aspire for, you can aspire for, and you can achieve. That's the message I would like to give you. I express my sincere gratitude to my chairman, Shri Krishna Kulkarni, for his immense trust in me and for giving me opportunities to serve this esteemed institution in multiple capacities. My association and contribution began about 35 years back when I founded the Delhi chapter of the Alumni Association, and since then, of course, I've had the privilege of leading the Delhi and the Bombay chapters and Chennai. I have been coming back to this institute for guest lectures, for strategic marketing workshops, mentorship programs, and many other engagements. And as was in the citation, I am now a member board of governors, and I also chair the IIM Calcutta Innovation Park. But in terms of gratitude, after my professors, after my alma mater, first and foremost, I must express my gratitude to my parents, especially my mother. I hope she's listening, because she was instrumental in my being here today. I know many of you may agree with me. After doing 11 years of schooling and 5 years of engineering college, I had no desire to study anymore. But she came to the hostel, she said, you know, she motivated me, she talked to me, and here I am. And that's probably one debt I can never repay in my life. For, you know. The second and biggest debt, or I should say another debt which I can never repay, is to my wife. Dear Ritu, you have been my pillar of strength. Your constant encouragement, patience, and belief in me have carried me through my darkest hours and inspired me to reach higher. You have often joked that IIM Calcutta is my first wife, and probably it is, but you know, both of you are my love, I can tell you that. My children have been my source of strength. Their belief has sustained me through every challenge and triumph, always telling me I could do more. This recognition is not mine alone. It belongs to everyone who has stood with me. Ramesh said the batch from which we graduated, the 18th batch, probably the best batch ever to graduate. We have Ramesh here, who's another distinguished alumnus today. And I hope and I pray and I know that in times to come, 18th batch will give you more distinguished alums than any other batch in the history of IIM Calcutta. I can tell you that. Receiving this award renews my commitment to uphold the values of this great institution. It reminds me of my responsibility as an alumni to give back to our alma mater, to give back to society, to mentor and help create a better world. Dr. Tandon talked about that. And for students, I must give you this message. You know, even if you go and start work in large organizations, at the end of the day, it is about what you do for society, how many jobs you create. The Viksit Bharat 2047 will not be created by job seekers. It will be created by job creators. So never let go of this side that you could be entrepreneurs in your lifetime. IIM Calcutta gives you that belief. Even maybe today you need to take up a job because you have taken loans. But IIM Calcutta teaches you values which will help you become entrepreneurs in time to come. As some of them sitting here, Gaurav, of course, Gaurav Deepak, you know, told us about his story. To the students, I say, dream big. Persevere through every challenge. And remember, you will never walk alone. Life will not be a straight path. There will be obstacles, some small, some significant. Cherish the friendships you build here. They will become your lifelong pillars of support. When setbacks come, it will be this community which stands beside you. And I've had this personal experience. Whenever I faced a setback, I could always go back to my alum community and they've always helped me out. Thank you once again for this profound honor. I accept it with humility and in the name of all those who made this journey possible. May IIM Calcutta prosper. May it continue to inspire excellence, compassion, and innovation in every sphere it touches. May the students continue to become the pillars of this great society which we call India. God bless IIM Calcutta. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is a pleasure to hear you speak, especially after the recently conducted National Entrepreneurship Conclave. And your passion for entrepreneurs is really something that we as MBA students would like to imbibe. I would like to request Professor Sumanta Basu to kindly announce the 5th awardee for this evening.
The fifth alumnus is not from the 18th batch. The fifth alumnus to receive the Distinguished Alumnus Award 2025 is Mr. Sandeep Kumar Kalra, alumnus 30th batch.
May I request Mr. Kalra to come on stage, please? I also request Professor Lata Shri Hazarika to come on stage and read the citation for Mr. Kalra.
We take immense pleasure in honoring Mr. Sandeep Kumar Kalra, an alumnus of the 30th batch of IIM Calcutta, for its outstanding contribution in the field of business leadership. Mr. Kalra has built an illustrious career spanning over 3 decades, marked by increasing responsibilities, consistent delivery, and transformative leadership in the global IT services industry. After graduating from IIM Calcutta in 1995, Mr. Kalra began his career in India's burgeoning IT sector, honing his skills in technology and business management. He joined HCL Group on the hardware side, leading a business development team across the National Capital Region. From there, he went on to join Samsung Electronics at their India liaison office, taking on the responsibility of launching multiple IT products and setting up a distribution channel across the country. Subsequently, he rejoined HCL in their IT services business, HCL Technologies. By the mid-2000s, Mr. Kalra has risen to senior leadership positions at HCL, taking on global responsibilities. He spearheaded initiatives to expand HCL's footprint in Latin America and Canada, establishing new businesses, delivery centers, and strengthening client portfolios. His leadership in the pharmaceutical sector was particularly notable, positioning HCL as a trusted partner for leading global pharma, biotech, and related enterprises. In 2013, Mr. Kalra joined Symphony Teleca as a senior executive, where he played a pivotal role in scaling the company's growth across software, mobile, and embedded software solutions. His strategic foresight and contribution were instrumental in orchestrating the company's acquisition by Harman in 2015, a landmark deal that enhanced Symphony Teleca's market position and created significant value for stakeholders. Mr. Kalra joined Persistent Systems in May 2019 as President of Technology Services and a board member. He was subsequently appointed as the CEO and Executive Director in October 2020. Under his leadership, Persistent has emerged as the fastest growing technology services company among India's listed IT firms, with revenue soaring from $480 million in FY19 to $1.4 billion by FY24. Achieving a CAGR exceeding 20%. His ambitious vision has set a target of $2 billion by FY27, positioning Persistent as a global leader in digital transformation, AI, and enterprise modernization. Mr. Kalra's strategic initiatives have transformed Persistent's market standing. He has overseen 7 strategic acquisitions since 2020, expanding capabilities in cloud, data, and AI-driven solutions. These moves, combined with strengthened partnerships with tech giants like Microsoft, Google, Salesforce, and AWS, have elevated Persistent's ranking to the top 8 listed IT companies in India by 2025 in revenue and 7 out of 8 in market capitalization, reaching over $10 billion as of September 2025. Mr. Kalra has been awarded with various accolades, which includes Tech Titan Award at Business Today's Best CEOs 2025, Best CEO in Institutional Investors Extel Asia Executive Team Survey in 2025, Best CEO in IT Services by Fortune India in 2024 et al. Based in Pennsylvania, USA, he continues to inspire through his focus on talent development, innovation, and community impact. His journey from IIM Calcutta to leading Persistent Systems to global prominence exemplifies the qualities of a visionary leader. On the personal side, Mr. Kalra and his family contribute to the charitable causes they believe in, giving back to the society in a meaningful way. We acknowledge Mr. Kalra's significant achievements as an exemplary leader in business development with enormous pride and bestow upon him the Institute's highest honor for its alumni, the Distinguished Alumni Award.
May I request Professor Alok Kumar Rai to greet Mr. Kalra with the shawl and citation scroll. May I also request Sri Krishna Kulkarni ji and Swami ji to hand over the Distinguished Alumnus Awards to Mr. Kalra. May I request Mr. Kalra to share a few thoughts as well?
esteemed chairman, director, deans, respected professors, and staff at IIM Calcutta, fellow alumni, dear students, especially the ones sitting in the backstairs, upstairs, and all the guests present today, a very good afternoon to you. Standing here today, overwhelmed with gratitude and humility, I accept the Distinguished Alumnus Award from my alma mater, IIM Calcutta, the very crucible that shaped my life and my career. This emotional moment is a true homecoming to the place where my professional journey began exactly 3 decades ago. I'm not the 18th batch, I'm the 30th batch, just 12 batches from the 18th batch. When I walked into IIM Calcutta as a young man from a humble background, I saw not just a highly esteemed academic institute, but a forge of dreams and perseverance. It was here that I believed, first, that the ambition could shatter barriers and resilience would define success. I extend my deepest gratitude to the outstanding professors of our 1993 to 1995 batch. Your rigorous training and exposure to diverse business domains sharpened our financial acumen and strategic thinking. The principles I learned here empowered me to grasp market dynamics, build and scale businesses, manage risk prudently, and navigate the business world's complexities. You taught us not just business, but life, nurturing intellectual curiosity, discipline, and integrity. To my batchmates from the 1995 batch, represented by Subrat Pani here and many online, a vibrant cohort of dreamers, doers, and problem solvers, thank you for shaping my perspectives and becoming lifelong network to me. The late nights in dorms, case studies, group projects, they prepared us all for uncertainty and the power of collaboration. Your funny, spirited camaraderie made those years unforgettable and continue to do so even today. My career has been a tapestry of lessons, starting as a senior management trainee at HCL, working my way through the corporate ladder, learning the ropes of public and private markets. I was fortunate to be working with the best in the industry, the best mentors the industry had to offer. Each of those mentors helped shape my holistic view of business and leadership. Joining Persistent Systems in 2019, I inherited an organization with a strong foundation built by our visionary founder, Dr. Anand Deshpande. Drawing on IMC's strong training, surrounded by a passionate team and collective learning over the years, we ignited transformative growth. Completing 6.5 years at Persistent, 5 of these as the CEO, I could not be more prouder. In this time frame, we fortified our capabilities, more than tripled our revenues, expanded our global footprint, and as a result, our market cap grew 18 times over, going much beyond $10 billion at the peak. Today, Persistent is one of the fastest growing and most respected tech services firms, not just in India, but globally. Behind all this was the unwavering, salient support of many people. My parents, whose sacrifices and values founded me. My wife, Jyotika, she's sitting here in the audience, whose belief and support sustains me. We celebrated 25 years of our marriage on the flight coming into India. Our 3 lovely daughters, our greatest joy, pride, and motivation. Lifelong friends, some in this room, my pillars. My colleagues at Persistent Systems, and many mentors whose wisdom I cherish. Vineet Nair at HCL Technologies, Romesh Wadhwani at Symphony Technology Group, Dinesh Paliwal at Harman. By the way, the speakers here are from Harman. Working with these leaders, I learned the art and science of building businesses in both public and private equity markets. Fellow MSCians, as I look around, I see a younger version of me in many of you, especially the backbenchers up there. For you, here are some of my life learnings, the ones that I gathered over the years. May some of you leverage some of these in your own way. As one of our alumni said before, be a dreamer. Dream big in your own ways and create your own unique trajectory. You're unique, and so has your journey got to be. Embrace every challenge and challenge the status quo in a positive way. Growth lies outside of your comfort zones. Skills from tough finance assignments, right here in IIMCal, to real-world projects last a lifetime. As they say, people don't win races on a straight track. Anyone can speed on a straight line. You win on the bends, navigating and overtaking with skill. Keep pushing the envelope. I'm confident if you do that, several years from now, some faces here in this room or listening to this talk remotely will grace this podium and much more. From reading business magazines about successful business leaders to becoming them, make it happen. Remember, your success is in your hands, and you are your own glass ceiling. Lead with authenticity, integrity, and empathy. Invest in genuine relationships. Value diverse perspectives. Build inclusiveness and forge trust. These bonds open doors and provide strength. Remember, collective power trumps individual might in businesses and in personal life. If you take a glass version of Mona Lisa and shatter it, we are all like the pieces of that shattered picture. Alone, we are no one. Surrounded by complementary pieces, together we form the masterpiece. Connect the dots and remember perfection is the enemy of execution. Life is not black or white. It is all shades in between. Act decisively with imperfect information that life provides you. Professional life is a marathon made of many 100-meter sprints. It is 20% strategy, 80% execution. Ideas mean little without follow-through, and sustained energy over a longer period of time does wonders. Commit to lifelong learning. In a world driven by the latest buzzword about AI or any other challenge or any other changes that we have seen and will see in the future, adaptability is key. Stay curious, upskill yourself, and embrace new environments, new ideas. Education is much beyond a business school, much beyond the grades you have. And if that is of any solace, I was the bottom 25% of the class, especially the backbenchers. Now, if you look around, your peers, your environment, everyone around you teaches you, only if you listen. If grades were all, I would never be here and would have little chance of standing here before you. A lot of people talk about work-life balance. I would say seek work-life harmony. Find something you're very passionate about. Pursue it relentlessly. Set your own destination, your own path, and find your own rhythm. All of the rest will follow. As you grow through life, think about giving back to society. Success isn't just about profits or titles. It's about the impact. Education is a privilege we all have had. All this demands uplifting others who may not be that fortunate. Find your own ways of giving back to the society over time. Last but not the least, have no regrets. Live your life to the fullest. You get one life. Please understand, no perfect world exists. Make the most out of it. In closing, I have faith in IIM Calcutta's young leaders, and I dedicate this award to every dreamer entering these gates. Dream boldly, persevere fiercely, lead with compassion, and chart your own path. If I can, so can you, and maybe much better. With sincerity, humility, and IIMC's spirit. Sincere thanks to all of you, our institution, our professors, family members, mentors, and friends. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kalra, for reminding us about work-life harmony, connecting the dots and creating the masterpiece of our lives. I would like to request Professor Sumanta Basu to kindly announce the 6th awardee for this evening.
The 6th and last alumnus to receive the Distinguished Alumnus Award 2025 is Mr. Sunil D'Souza, alumnus 28th batch.
I request Mr. D'Souza to come on stage, please. I also request Professor Reema Mandal to come on stage and read the citation for Mr. D'Souza.
We take immense pleasure in honoring Mr. Sunil D'Souza, an alumnus of the 28th batch of IIM Calcutta, for his outstanding contributions in the field of business development and leadership. Mr. D'Souza is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Tata Consumer Products with over 3 decades of experience in the consumer goods industry. He is noted for driving strategic transformation, large-scale integration, innovation and portfolio expansion, and most importantly, driving stakeholder value. Mr. D'Souza worked for a couple of years with Siemens India as an engineer before joining IIM Calcutta in the 28th batch. Out of campus, he joined Hindustan Liver as a management trainee in 1993, later moving to Standard Chartered and then Coca-Cola before joining PepsiCo and spending 15 years handling food and beverages across various Asian markets. Having lived in Vietnam, Philippines, and Malaysia with PepsiCo, Mr. D'Souza is credited with creating business in North Vietnam for PepsiCo and growing the same in the Philippines through innovation and portfolio expansion. In his last stint managing a cluster of countries in Southeast Asia, he operationalized the new joint venture with Suntory in Vietnam, started bottling operations in Myanmar post-lifting of sanctions, restructured and reset the business for growth in Indonesia, apart from delivering some of the highest growth rates for PepsiCo globally. He returned to India in 2015 to lead Whirlpool India Limited as managing director and is credited with transforming the company into a major growth story, driving innovation and portfolio expansion, distribution and execution, branding and customer relationships. The results speak for themselves, with the market capitalization proliferating 3 times over a span of 4.5 years and featuring among the top 100 wealth creators across industries in India over 2014 to 2019 in a study by Motilal Oswal. Mr. D'Souza joined the newly formed Tata Consumer Products in 2020 to spearhead the FMCG ambitions of the Tata Group, and under his leadership, Tata Consumer Products has shifted from a commodity-based business to a branded consumer products player, expanding its portfolio, widening its distribution, driving digitization and innovation across food and beverages. Apart from Tata Consumer Products, Mr. D'Souza is also a member of the board at Tata Starbucks and Tata Digital. He holds an engineering degree with a rank from the University of Madras and was the Glaxo Marketing Scholar of the 28th batch of the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. Mr. D'Souza is married to Jyoti, who teaches mathematics and has supported him through all the career moves. They have 2 daughters, Sara and Sabina. An avid sportsman in his early life, having represented his school and colleges in athletics, football and basketball, he now enjoys his daily morning runs and follows sports. The blend of robust academic background, deep sector experience, and a future-focused leadership style makes Mr. Sunil D'Souza a key figure in shaping the future of Tata Consumer Products and the Indian FMCG industry. We acknowledge Mr. D'Souza's significant achievements as an exemplary leader in the business development with enormous pride and bestow upon him the Institute's highest honor for its alumni, the Distinguished Alumni Award.
May I request Professor Alok Kumar Rai to greet Mr. Kalra with the shawl and citation scroll. May I request Shri Krishna Kulkarni ji and Swami Sarvapriyanand ji to hand over the Distinguished Alumnus Awards to Mr. Kalra. So, sorry, Mr. D'Souza, apologies. I would also request Mr. D'Souza to come and please speak a few words.
Good evening, Board of Governors, Swamiji, respected faculty, fellow alumni, students, and distinguished guests. It's with immense gratitude and humility that I stand before you today to accept the Distinguished Alumnus Award from my alma mater, IIM Calcutta. This honor is deeply personal because it not only recognizes personal professional milestones, but because it comes from an institution that shaped my thinking, values, and aspirations. IIM Calcutta for me was not just a place of learning, it was a crucible of transformation. It taught me that leadership is not only about titles, it's also about responsibility. That strategy without execution is just theory, and that execution without strategy is directionless. These lessons have stayed with me through every phase of my career, from my early days at Hindustan Unilever and Coca-Cola, through my time at PepsiCo and Whirlpool, and today at Tata Consumer Products. Staying humble but hungry is key to achieving success in any career, and there's no better place to learn it than IIM Calcutta. Whether it is the first qualifying maths that brings to earth all the high-flying engineers, or the intense but friendly competition that shapes you and your winning instinct in the years that you spend here. I made my best friends in life in IIM Calcutta. And Dr. Bala and Mr. Jain, we came 10 years after you, but I do think the 28th batch is as good, if not better, than the 18th. Made some of my best friends, H4 top. We try and take a vacation as family now, at least once a year. My daughter gets married in December, and all 13 of them come with their family to attend the wedding. I also learned here to tackle fear, especially during end-term examinations, subjects like FINAC and international economics. Now, on a more serious note, at Tata Consumer, we've been on a journey of transformation, transforming from a legacy tea and salt company into a diversified FMCG player, worthy of carrying the Tata name and to find its rightful place in the market caps of companies in India. This transformation has been powered by innovation, digital acceleration, and more importantly, a relentless focus on execution and consumer centricity. But more than anything else, it's driven by people, Tata people, and teams that value purpose, shared vision, and a culture that values integrity and impact. Now, as I reflect on my journey, I realize that the seeds of this mindset were sown right here at IIM Calcutta. The rigor of the curriculum, the diversity of thought, the competition and camaraderie of peers, all of it prepared me not just for a career, but a life of learning and leadership. I would like to thank the Distinguished Alumnus Award Committee for this recognition. I also extend my heartfelt appreciation to the faculty members who inspired me and continue to inspire generations, and to the students who represent the future of leadership in India and beyond. To my fellow alumni, thank you for setting the bar high. And to the current students, I urge you to embrace the challenges ahead with courage, curiosity, and compassion. Remember that the 2 years in IMC is a necessary but not sufficient condition for success. Stay bold, stay grounded, but remember, the learning never stops. And as you step into your careers, I think Dr. Bala said it, Mr. Jain said it, and multiple speakers before me would have said it so, I would urge you not to get too distracted by extraneous factors when making choices in life or in your career. To always follow your heart and go down the road which makes you happy. Because a career is a series of marathons and not 100-meter races. Finally, I dedicate this award to my family, my parents, and especially my spouse, Jyoti, and my daughters, Sarah and Sabina, who have been my unwavering support through every step of this journey. Thank you once again. IMC is always home, and it's great to be here and get this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your lovely insights. And many, many thanks to our distinguished alums who have made us proud and have honored us by accepting tokens of our appreciation, the Distinguished Alumnus Awards. Foundation Day is a designated day on which the celebrations mark the founding of an institution. It is an opportunity for an institution like ours to come together and celebrate the proud history with the faculty members, staff members, students, alum community, and allied stakeholders. It is significant not only because of the number of years that it has served the community, but also it is a day to connect to the energy of this moment as a remembrance. It is a chance to remind us about the humble beginnings of this institution. Every year, we celebrate our Foundation Day to commemorate the day when our institute was established. May I now invite Sri Sri Krishna Kulkarni ji, Chairperson Board of Governors of IIM Calcutta, to address the guests and introduce the chief guest.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, before I start, I do wish to tell Mr. Deepak Gaurav, Mr. Tandon, I think he's left, Bala Ramesh, Mr. Ajay Jain, Mr. Kalra, and also Sunil, that for your alma mater, for your mother, all of you are the best, including the students who are sitting here, whether they're sitting up there or down here. You'll always be the best. But as a representative of the mother, Destiny has given me this position today. I'd like to up the ante for all of you. We at IIM Calcutta will truly consider you the best, which is the first batch that donates 10 crores and more. That's the benchmark for all of you. Remember that. It's very easy to talk. Let's see you guys put your action to the mouth. And I'm asking on behalf of all the kids here, we need to redevelop the campus. So the challenge is out. Are you guys just words or do you deliver? Execution without strategy is just drift, right, Sunil? So let's look at you, strategize and execute. I don't want to say anything more than that, but there are other IIMs which are batting at the rate of 400-500 crores a year. Let's start with a modest 50 crores. Okay, the challenge is out. Having said that, let me say Om Hrim Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. As I stand before you, I invoke the blessings of the Divine Mother Goddess of the universe, Adi Parashakti, and my entire Guru Parampara for providing me the guidance to me for this 65th Foundation Day address. It was in October of 2017 when I first came to this campus. At that time, I remember getting off at the Calcutta airport, and they had sent some very fine young man to receive me, and I said I want to take a detour, and I first went to Dakshineshwar, and then I went to Belur Math. When I came back to this campus, I immediately had a meeting with faculty. It was very daunting. Trust me, it was daunting. And I don't want to name the faculty, but somebody in the faculty asked me, do you believe in all these things? Do you believe in Thakur, Ramakrishna, Belur Math? And for a moment, I was absolutely flummoxed. I had no answer. But you know, when your heart reaches out, the divine universe rescues you. And I remembered that Swamiji, that is Swami Vivekananda, is considered to be a teacher. So I did tell the teacher that I went and met the teacher of teachers, which is Thakur Sri Ramakrishna. So namaste to Sri Ramakrishna. I would like to introduce today most revered Swami Sarvapriyananda Ji, distinguished alumnus awardees, respected guests, members of the Board of Governors of IIM Calcutta, Director Professor Alok Kumar Rai, members of the IIM Calcutta faculty, officers, staff, dear student, members of the media and press, and all those friends who are joining this session online via the internet, my pranams to you. Today our chief guest is Swami Sarvapriyananda. He has spared his precious time for IIM Calcutta, for which we are deeply grateful. On behalf of IIM Calcutta, it is my great honor to introduce Swamiji. He is the minister and spiritual leader of the Vedanta Society of New York. In the past, he has also served as an acharya or a teacher at the Advaita Ashram in Mayavati, and later as the head of the Ramakrishna Mission in Hollywood. He was a Nagral Fellow from 2019 and 20 academic year at the Harvard Divinity School, a program that brings Hindu monastics to campus to enrich the Harvard Divinity School community and allow them to study at the university. He was one of the first Hindu monastics to participate in this program. Swamiji is one of the most respected voices in the world of Vedanta, the ancient wisdom of Sanatana Dharma that teaches the oneness of existence and the divinity of the soul. He is a monk of the Ramakrishna order, and as a tapasya, he continues to study, share, and live the principles of Vedanta. His clear and deeply engaging talks on topics like consciousness, self-realization, and spiritual living in the modern world have achieved global popularity that is almost cult-like. His lectures, whether on the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, or even the neuroscience and spirituality, have inspired millions across cultures and faiths. Through his wisdom and warmth, Swamiji bridges the timeless truths of Vedanta with the challenges and questions of contemporary life. Please join me in welcoming Swami Sarvapriyananda, whose words have the potential to awaken the divinity within all of us. Namaskar, Swamiji. Welcome to. Let me get into my talk straight away. Today I wish to share my thoughts on why we should be less judgmental. So why are we judgmental of others? It would not be wrong if I were to assert that it is simply human nature to be judgmental, a powerful habit. Over millennia of our existence, our minds have acquired immensely powerful tendencies to categorize. It helps us to make sense of the world. Being judgmental comes from comparing the perceived attitude of another person with one's own understanding. It is very often a subconscious defense mechanism which can give us a false sense of control and superiority. When we feel insecure by being judgmental, what we are really doing is protecting ourselves from uncertainty. Now today many speakers have spoken about the Bhagavad Gita. It's one of those texts which is almost inescapable, so I also will refer to it. So what does the Bhagavad Gita tell us about being judgmental? While the word judgmental is not explicitly in the Bhagavad Gita, the underlying qualities that encompass a judgmental attitude are very clearly described in chapter 2 in verses 62 and 63. Verse 62 goes, Dhyato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangaste Shupajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Bijayate. This basically means that while contemplating on Vishayan, the objects of senses, one develops sangaha, attachment to them, and attachment leads to kamaha, desire, and from desire arises krodha. The next, verse 63 says, Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibramaha, smriti bhramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. Anger leads to sammoha, that is clouding of judgment, which results in vibramaha, bewilderment of memory, and when memory is bewildered, smriti bhramshat, the intellect gets destroyed, buddhinashat. And when the intellect is destroyed, one is ruined, pranashyati. A mind that is continuously preoccupied in the external sense objects easily develops attachment, which leads to desire, and from desire, anger arises. These qualities of attachment, desire, and anger therefore lead to bewilderment of memory, which is nothing but loss of intelligence, loss of viveka. Yesterday, Swamiji was talking about viveka, that is the ability to discern, to discriminate. Such a mind is one that has high tendency to being judgmental. I had a choice to think about giving you a talk on corporate finance, sensex, the world geopolitics, but you have tons of your own alumni who will do that. And I thought that this aspect of what I'm talking today will make sense, even if in a small manner. I believe I'm just sowing a seed in all your consciousness right now. The consequences of being judgmental, are there any consequences? You need to contemplate on that. Being judgmental makes us feel better, at least for the moment, because it is the instinct of our mind to categorize people into being our type and not our type. And too often, that instinct goes too far. We create an us versus them divide. This has the potential to lead to conflict, and because we build walls instead of bridges. And today's world, it is even easier. Social media trains us to be judgmental constantly. Does being judgmental actually cost us? First, it costs us connections. When we label people, we stop listening to them. We shut down the very thing that helps us understand others, which is curiosity. Second, it costs us empathy. Every time we reduce someone to a stereotype, we shut down the very thing that helps us understand others. Second, it costs us empathy. Every time we reduce someone to a stereotype, we lose an opportunity to practice compassion, the ability to see through another person's eyes. And the third, it costs us peace. Being judgmental does not just poison relationships, it poisons our own mind. It makes us negative, critical, and constantly focused on what is wrong with others instead of what is good in them. Finally, the process of being judgmental shifts the focus from oneself to the other and prevents our own growth. As I close this, it is especially important for me to share the following. As a corollary, it is important for us to make a distinction between judging and being judgmental. The difference is that judging is the ability to make wise, balanced decisions, while being judgmental is a negative attitude of forming harsh, critical, and often premature opinions about others. Good judgment is a tool for discernment, which can lead to clear decisions and understanding. In comparison, being judgmental is a rigid and often self-righteous mindset that can stem from insecurity. It limits empathy, closes off possibilities, and can be hurtful to others. But in the final analysis, as Guru Shri M always reminds us, and I quote, "The highest function of the intellect is to understand its own limitations, because beyond a certain point, the intellect is of no help. However, intellect is essential, for without it, one cannot think or discriminate. Those on the spiritual search begin to understand that intellect alone cannot take us to the inner centers of consciousness." As I have not given any practical examples, time was limited. I did not want to go beyond my regulation 10 minutes. The entire talk may appear to be bookish or theoretical to all of you, but I urge you, when your mind is at peace, do reflect on what I have just said. Why we should be less judgmental is not just for others' sake, but for our own peace of mind and growth as a human being. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I would request Professor Shomokanti Chakraborty, Chairperson of the MBA program, to please come on stage and address the guests on the Institute lecture series and invite the chief guest to deliver the lecture.
Swami Sarvapriyanandaji, chief guest of the evening, Sri Krishna Kulkarni, Chairman, Board of Governors, IIM Calcutta, Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Director, IIM Calcutta, members of the Board of Governors, IIM Calcutta, the deans, the distinguished alumnus awardees for the year 2025, faculty colleagues, students, officers, and staff of the Institute, alumni, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor to welcome you all to the 36th lecture of the Institute Lecture Series, ILS. Since its inception in 2009, this lecture series has become a cornerstone of our institution's commitment to fostering meaningful dialogue on critical issues, engaging with thought leaders from various fields to enrich our understanding of the challenges and opportunities shaping our world. The Institute Lecture Series is more than just a series of talks. It is a platform for insightful discussion, intellectual growth, and inspiration. Each lecture brings our students, faculty, and guests into contact with influential voices from academia, industry, government, and beyond, offering perspectives that challenge us to think deeply about the social, economic, and technological transformations that define our era. Through these interactions, we aim to cultivate a broader and more nuanced understanding of our role as responsible citizens and future leaders. Over the years, we have had the privilege of hosting some truly distinguished speakers. These include His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Dr. S. Jaishankar, Dr. Kiran Bedi, Dr. Sam Pitroda, Professor Pranab Bardhan, Professor Dipesh Chakraborty, Professor Kaushik Basu, among many others. Today, it is our privilege to welcome Swami Sarvapriyanandaji, Minister and Spiritual Leader of the Vedanta Society of New York, as our esteemed chief guest. A monk of the Ramakrishna order and a renowned expositor of Advaita Vedanta, Swami Sarvapriyanandaji is celebrated for his lucid, contemporary interpretations of India's spiritual wisdom and its relevance to modern life, leadership, and ethics. His talks have inspired audiences across the world and fostered meaningful dialogue between philosophy, science, and society. We are deeply grateful to him for accepting our invitation and for sharing his insights with us. On behalf of our entire institute, I extend a heartfelt welcome to Swamiji, and I thank him, as well as all of you, for being part of this occasion. I now invite Swamiji to address us and share his thoughts.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste and good afternoon, everybody. Respected Sri Krishna Kulkarni ji, the chairman of the board, respected director, Professor Alok Rai, respected Professor Boshu, respected Professor Chakraborty, the distinguished alumni who are present here in the front row, members of the faculty, staff members, and dear students. I must begin with congratulating once again the distinguished alumni, and I think another round of applause for them. Looking at them, I'm reminded of two things I heard in the ashram, in our Ramakrishna Mission ashrams. One story long before my time. It seems in one of our ashrams, a building was constructed, and a very senior Swamiji, who was a disciple of Ma Sharada, he was an elderly Swamiji, he was invited. Please come tomorrow for the inauguration of the building. And the Swami kept quiet. After the dignitaries had left, the Swami turned to a young brahmachari, a novice, who told me the story. He said, in Bengali, I'll tell you in Bengali and translate for you. Ora amay building dekhate chaye. Ami to sadhu dekhte chai. They want to show me buildings, but I want to see good sadhus, good monks. That's what an institute wants. In its, the long history, the best products are people here. This is the product of IIM Calcutta, these distinguished alumni here. And we all benefit from their experiences. They set up role models for the rest of us to follow. My subject today is spiritualizing life, but I was thinking, looking at especially the young people here, the perspective that I get traveling the different parts of the world, coming to India occasionally, And right now, for the last 9 years, I am in New York, in Manhattan. The perspective I get is that we are entering into an exciting phase in our history. I often tell people they're in America. They all are like, oh, what's going to happen, Trump, etc., etc., etc. So I say, look, your society is at a sort of a plateau. It'll get a little better or a little worse. I introduced them to the concept of 19-20. 19-20. It'll be a little better or a little worse. But if you come to India, every 5 years you'll find a new India. Infrastructure, economy, but also socially, the culture, internal culture of the people is changing over time. So a new country, veritably, every few years. Before I came here, since I was going to give a talk to IIM, so I asked some people there, especially one young man who works for Bloomberg, unofficial analysis of the situation in India and the world, something I can share with people there. And from what he told me, I'll give you the gist. I mean, in one word, what he told me was, Swami, look up Zoho. All of you must be aware of it. I was not all that aware of it, but students here must be doing case studies and stuff like that. So what's the background to this? He said we are already the 5th largest economy in the world, and the way things are going, India is going to become the 4th, maybe even the 3rd largest economy in a few years' time. Tremendous development. How did we get here? He says that one of the drivers of rapid economic development was institutes like this, management colleges, engineering colleges, the IITs, the IIMs, and many, many, many other colleges, and young people like yourself who drove especially the IT boom and provided this enormous resource to the leading companies of the world, especially in America and Silicon Valley, this human resource of English-knowing, highly competent, technically skilled, proficient people who are well-trained and trainable, scalable also. And they drove this massive change, benefiting both the United States and India. However, he pointed out, we're also the largest population in the world, more than a billion, more than China, in fact. And what we have seen so far, those people who have driven this change, they still are a fraction of India's human potential. So there is this enormous potential which we can utilize, which we can channelize. And for that, management skills, which are imparted here in an institute like this and other institutes like this, will be essential. The resources are there, natural resources, especially human resources. But to harness them and channelize them like the thought leaders who are present in the front row, what they have done, we need more of that in times to come. I was listening to especially the stories of entrepreneurship here. And I was reminded of something very interesting, that more than 100 years ago, Swami Vivekananda, writing to one of his disciples, trying to inspire Indians to be entrepreneurial. Remember, colonial India, right here. It was the capital of the British Empire in Calcutta. So he is telling one of his disciples, Sharat Chandra, look, be up and doing, come out into the world. See how the nations of the world are marching. Why don't you go to Banaras, get some of the fine silks there, fine cloth there, bring samples, take them, make a bundle, go to the United States, and you sell them there. And you'll make a lot of money, and you'll be rich. Now this person, very typical reaction, he said, who's going to buy all that in this far off foreign land? And Vivekananda says, I knew you would say that. But I know people there, they will buy it. Now why I'm saying this is, more than once in airports in New York, I have come across people, and in other places in New York, I have come across people, Indians, at least twice. What are you doing here? I am bringing samples of cloth and textiles from India. And I said, what do you do? You know, Fifth Avenue, all the leading fashion brands of the world, they're there. they incorporate this. We present it to them, they select, and they incorporate it into the latest fashion styles which you see on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. I was thinking, my God, more than 100 years ago, Swami Vivekananda had said exactly the same thing. I was told that there is this company now, Zoho, and one gentleman, Vembu. So what he has done is he has started a new model of IT entrepreneurship in India, based in India, using Indian talents, and scaling it up, not just human resources working for foreign companies, but actually new products for which Indians own the patents, the intellectual property rights, and he has made it a success. A kind of, this is Wall Street, this is Bloomberg and others. They're looking very carefully at this phenomenon now. And this seems to be the way forward. So, as my consultant put it, and informally, he said, tell the young persons there, what got India to this position right now is what he called the Sundar Pichai, the Satya Nadella model, which is wonderful, which has got us to this position now. But what shows the path for the youngsters here is more the Zoho model, the Vembu model, and something like that, not just in IT, but across many sectors, and energizing, channelizing, activating the other sectors of India's human resources, not just the IT part of it. Okay, so this is the future. And what you guys will do with this, nobody knows. You don't know, we don't know. That's the scary part of it. That's the exciting part of it. We will see. Now, in this journey, one of the greatest resources one could deploy is our vast, ancient, and also modern spiritual resources. You will need a lot of strength in this, in the journey, in the life's journey, in the decades to come, starting now and in decades ahead in our lives. And it's not just for the young people there, for everybody, all of us, including myself. Spirituality, what can it do? For young people, at the dawn of at the beginning of your careers, beginning of your lives, it will give you strength. Swami Vivekananda used to say that, confidence. He said that the old religion said the one who does not believe in God is an atheist. And the new religion says the one who does not believe in oneself, in himself or herself, is an atheist. How do you get that faith, that confidence in yourself, that as one of the distinguished alumni said, if I can do it, you can do it too, and maybe even better, right? So that faith in oneself. Vivekananda said, all the rishis and the prophets and the avatars of the past, they were great, but they are gone now. And now we too must be the rishis and the prophets and the spiritual masters of this age and the future. That kind, they were human beings, they did it, we are also human beings, and we can do it too. That confidence, spirituality will give you. That strength, and that vision of a noble, better life, higher life, spirituality can inspire young people. As you go through life, through the middle part of your life, through career, through family life, the tremendous stresses and the challenges, both at workplace and in your personal life, once again, one will need strength, one will need calmness of mind, one will need vision. That spirituality can give you. It can provide you with that safe harbor, a moment of peace in the midst of a busy and difficult life. And finally, in the evening of life, spirituality will give us fulfillment, a deep sense of peace. Ashtavakra Gita says, life, let this body live for 100 years, let it die today. I am perfectly fine with it. That kind of peace and steadiness and centeredness spirituality can give us. How can it do that? What can we do? I'll share a little bit of it from our ancient texts and also from modern positive psychology, modern management literature, and see what you make of it. One sadhu, one monk, he says, the key to spirituality is the mind, managing the mind. I remember I used to be called to give these talks. Once I was called to a Tata I think Tata Motors present human resource development event. And it was Quality Month. And the manager who was introducing the event, he said something that stuck to me, and I still remember it today. This was more than 25 years ago. So to all the assembled managers, he said, we want to improve our consciousness of quality, but the only way to improve the consciousness of quality is to improve the quality of consciousness. And I thought, this is what spirituality does. It changes us internally. It teaches us how to manage our internal resources, the resources of our mind. The poet Milton has said, the mind in its own place can make a heaven of hell and a hell of heaven. We just look around. The people you know in your family, in your friend circle, or the people we read about in the news, with extraordinary privilege, everything going for them, destroy their own lives. It could be drug addiction, it could be a host of different things. And there are people who come up from extremely difficult circumstances and transform their own lives and the lives of others around them. The mind, by itself, just by itself, it can transform a hell into heaven and can transform a heaven into hell also. So learning how to manage our minds, that is the realm of spirituality. One sadhu, he said, put it this way, आपको लगता है, I'll translate, आपको लगता है संसार के चलते मेरा मन अशांत है, लेकिन सच तो ये है कि अशांत मन के चलते संसार है. You think, because of the world, stresses of the job, family life, so many problems, that's why my mind is upset. For samsara, my samsara is making my mind upset. But he says, actually, the truth is, because your mind is upset, you have the troubles of samsara. What does that mean? That doesn't seem to be true, because we think there are real problems. How can you say, because of my mind I have samsara? I always give the example of doctors. Doctors deal with difficult cases throughout their career every day. They've dealt with hundreds, if not thousands of people. And all the doctors know they've dealt with this situation, where people with serious medical conditions, they come, but they are calm and dignified and controlled, and they accept the situation and do the best they can. And they also deal with patients with relatively minor conditions who break down, nervous breakdown, because of maybe a minor illness. Now the question is, who is suffering more? Who is suffering more? Is it the person who has a serious physical illness but is calm and controlled in the mind? Or the person who may have a relatively minor problem but completely breakdown, mental breakdown? That second person is suffering much more. Suffering is due not so much due to what the world throws at you, but more due to how we react to that. And spirituality helps us to manage and change that reaction. That makes all the difference in the world. Let me deal with some aspects of this mind management through spirituality. One is the importance of attention. I'm sure you must have seen it. A few years ago, there was a documentary on social media, Social Dilemma. I think, yeah, you've seen it, some of you? No. Some of you have seen it, yeah. So there I was introduced to this term, the attention economy. The most valuable thing we have got in our lives, the most valuable thing, more than money, is our attention. Especially in this information world, in this world which is connected, everybody's trying to draw your attention. How you use your attention, that makes a huge difference in our lives. There is a saying, a psychologist has said this, what we attend to and how much attention we put on it makes on that depends the quality of our lives. The quality of your life will depend on what you attend to and how much attention you give to it. I learned from that documentary, and then later I did some reading, that these companies, they want our attention because apparently it translates into revenue for them. And so they're training us through these devices which all of us have in our pockets. They are training us to pay attention. It seems that there is the psychology of the Las Vegas slot machines where you gamble. So you will find your phone. Sometimes it goes ping, sometimes ding, and sometimes it vibrates. What is it doing? Some message is coming, something is coming from social media. Most of it is useless, 99.9% of it. 1% may be useful information. But every time we pay attention, the phone is training us to attend to it the moment it gives some kind of signal to us. And as a result, our attention gets fractured. This capturing of our attention, this has tremendously deleterious effects on work, on personal life. There is a new term. There's a new term called intermittent attention. Intermittent attention. Scholars, professors, I'm sure here also you might have noticed this, in workplaces, managers, they have noticed that kids in school or college or workers in meetings, they are listening to the teacher or they are listening to the managers, to the person who's speaking, but only intermittently. So we are listening and then we look at our phones a little bit and then we listen again and then we look. I noticed this. I had the opportunity to study for a while at a very elite university. And one thing I would do is I went back to school after, at the age of 50. So for a few months. And I would sit at the back of the lecture hall and I would notice what the kids were doing. Very smart kids, some of the smartest in the world in that university. They were listening to the professor. It's not that they were not paying attention, listening to the professor, and then what the professor was saying, they would check up on the laptop a little bit. But then I noticed from that checking up, it would link to something else, and it would link to something else. Very soon they were checking their social media messages, and then back to the professor again. Now this is extremely harmful. It's a tremendous loss. I mean, companies will say a lot of productivity loss, but personally, it leads to a disintegration of your inner psyche. There is a book, Cal Newport. The name of the book is Deep Work. I read it recently. There, he puts forward a very interesting idea. He says, in this age, the age we are living in, this information age, this interconnected age, the value of deep work is tremendous for two reasons. One, he gave this very nice example from YouTube. He says, if you look at YouTube music, you will find one music video has got 1 million views, and another music video has got 1 billion views. There are such music videos. Now, he says this question, it cannot be that one song is 1,000 times better than another song. One product cannot be 1,000 times better than another product in the same product range, you know. How is it that one is getting 1 million views and another one is getting 1 billion views? And the reason he says is, in this age, the way people consume has changed. I mean, most of this will be known to you. The way people consume has changed. Especially it struck me because it struck a chord in me. That earlier, when we were kids, in our generation, if you wanted to listen to music, you would go to your local music shop. Those cassettes were available. You would purchase them. And what you purchased was more or less limited by what was available there. But now, all the products in the world are instantly and in many cases freely available to you and to everybody. Now, what you like, that is available and you go straight to it. And generally, lots and lots of people will like the same thing and they go straight to it. And the other products which might have earlier got some visibility, they diminish sharply. So 1 or 2 products will get tremendous amount of response from the consumers, and the rest will diminish. So he says there, basically the point he makes is that you don't have to be 1,000 times better than anybody else, but what you really, really have to be in order to even succeed or even survive in this world which is coming is to be a little better than everybody else, in some little significantly better than the next person. And what contributes to that being better than others is deep work. Deep work, concentrated work, focused work. And then he says the second reason why deep work is important is a negative reason, because deep work is becoming more and more and more rare today because of this lack of concentration, this lack of focus, this scattered attention. And so what is happening is a lot of superficial, smart looking on the surface work is going on, but if you probe a little deeper. I have asked professors in Ivy League colleges in the United States, and they are worried. They are saying this is doctoral students. It's turning in good work, which looks good on the surface. But if you probe a little deeper, there is no depth of understanding of that particular issue. It's like doctoral students not even finishing one book cover to cover, but they have read little bits and pieces across the field. This is worrying. And therefore, he says that Cal Newport, his conclusion is, if you can do deep work, that means concentrated work, focused work, you will get tremendous benefits in this world. It's a rare thing which you have, and the demand for it is enormous. For the deep work, concentration is the key. I remembered Swami Vivekananda saying, the difference between an ordinary person and a great person lies in the degree of concentration. I was just thinking, only in the degree of concentration? What does he mean? Intelligence and... no, he says in the degree of concentration. And I began to notice this among the monks in our order, in universities and colleges like this. I would go, when I was invited to give talks, I would all love to go to the library and sit there. Nowadays, libraries are becoming less and less populated. I've now seen libraries of new institutes which don't have books anymore. They proudly show we are all entirely digital. No books. But I would not only study, I would watch the kids studying. And I noticed one thing. Several years ago, I was invited to one of the leading engineering institutes of this country, IIT Kanpur, I can tell you. And I would sit and watch the students studying there. And then, years later, in another engineering college, a rather expensive one, I was telling the students there, the difference between, say, what is known as one of the best engineering colleges and yours is not in the quality of equipment. You have equally good equipment. It's not even in the quality of faculty. Your faculty is also very good. But I noticed one thing. There, in that IIT library, I would see the students sitting from early in the morning, studying there, 2, 3, 4 hours. I would go out for my lunch and come back, 6, 7, 8 hours, same kids sitting there in the same place and studying. The computer department, in those days, computer departments, as somebody pointed out, is one of the earliest and best computer departments here. At that time, it was, I also saw it. It was very impressive. Now it is outdated technology. You don't have to have a big building with lots of computers, but it was there. I told the kids that, see, in that IIT I found 24 hours the computer department is busy because it's full of students and students waiting in line for a chance to work there. And I went to your computer department. Your professors took me to show me all lines of shiny machines sitting there. Students, nobody. I asked, where are the students? Don't you allow them after hours to work in the machines? He said, no, it's open. Nobody comes. Where are they? Oh, they are out. They are, on their bikes and outside the campus. And so I said, this is the difference. The ability to focus on one thing and hold on to it for a long time. You may think it's boring. I was telling the kids, it's not boring. Concentration, sustained attention is actually very energizing. There was a psychologist called Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. He wrote a book called Flow. He was one of the world's leading experts on attention. And he said, peak experiences in life, one of the characteristics of peak experiences, the best experiences of our life, is when there is sustained attention, when we throw all our attention on something. Could be a book, could be an assignment, could be a company, could be a product of art or research in science, or whatever it is. Swami Vivekananda gives us the secret. How do I get this fierce, sustained concentration, the ability to focus? And the secret is very simple, actually. He says, do whatever you are doing with the fullest possible attention. Do whatever you are doing with the fullest possible attention. I remember one of my friends, brilliant, brilliant man. He's a monk, but in his, before he became a monk, he was a student, an engineer. He was, this IIT joint entrance examinations. It's one of the toughest exams in the world. Many of you have come from that, you have cleared it. He was All India second rank, All India second in his batch. And brilliant man in his IIT Kanpur days also, computer science, one of the toppers. Now, I noticed something about him. whatever he did, this monk, whatever he did, he would do with all his attention. It's not just studying, not just meditation. I saw him cleaning his room. Every grill of the window, he would polish with fierce attention. He was not practicing. It was natural to him to do everything with enormous focus. I saw the truth of Swami Vivekananda's words, do whatever you're doing with the fullest possible attention. One little trick, insight actually, from Mihai Csikszentmihalyi's work, the essential insight, you can use it. It's like hacking your attention. He says it's a function of skills and challenge. So if you're working on a certain problem, we all have certain abilities, which we have studied, we have developed ourselves. Now, if the challenge of the problem is more than your ability, you get anxiety. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. If the challenge is much less than your ability, you get bored. And then here is the crucial thing, the secret to concentration. He says there is a narrow band where the challenge of the task matches your ability. You know I can do this, but I really have to work hard to do it. It's like playing tennis or badminton with another opponent who is at your level. So maybe you can beat that guy, but you'll have to work really hard you have to work at the edge of your performance envelope. So that is the secret of concentration. Make a habit of doing whatever you are doing with the fullest possible attention. And work at that band, the narrow band, where our abilities and the challenge of the task, whatever the task is, it matches. If the task is too difficult, break it down. Use your intellect to break it down, make it into manageable chunks. Take help. If the challenge is not enough, don't stay in that zone. Amp up the challenge and make it more difficult. I remember one of our novices in a classroom. It was a boring class. I noticed he was taking fierce notes, working very hard. What are you doing? He says, whatever the teacher is saying, I'm translating into Sanskrit and taking notes. Now imagine, that's so difficult. Why was he doing that? Working at the edge of his concentration, the edge of his abilities. He was not practicing this, it was just a way of life for him. So this is one great secret. How do you spiritualize the mind? By fierce concentration, by valuing the power of attention. Give the fullest possible attention to whatever one is doing. One might ask, when I'm doing my assignments, I'll give full attention. When I'm gossiping with my friends, when I'm looking at my social media, why do I have to give fullest possible attention? There also Vivekananda answers. He says, remember you have only one mind. Remember it is the same mind. We don't have two minds. One mind for the really hard work, the important work, the assignments, and the other mind for relaxing. No, we have only one mind. And so the way we do every little thing, that will also impact the way we do important stuff in our lives. Those who are leaders of industry, those who are professors, you see it every day in your life among the people you work with. It's those who manage their minds. I also did an MBA, by the way. I remember now, when we were just about to graduate, many of you in your generation may not have heard the name Rusi Modi, but he was a legend in the Tatas at one time. So he came to give us a talk. He was an invited speaker. And the first thing he told us, young MBAs on the verge of their career, he stood up and he said, I don't care for MBAs. Give me a young, enthusiastic young man or woman. I will train them up to be intelligent, enthusiastic. Two things, intelligent, enthusiastic. I will train them up to be better than any MBA. So I don't know what we could say. But anyway, so we have the ability to manage your mind. Moving on. Second, now this may not be the forum to say such a thing, but I know it will connect with many of you privately. If you have a belief in God in some form, doesn't matter what your religion is, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Sikhism, it's a great, great power in your life. Keep it private. And the more private it is, the more powerful it is. In Bengali, there is a saying, Joto gupto toto pokto. That means the more private you keep it, the more valuable it is, the more firm it becomes. So a deep faith, Swami Vivekananda says that instead of 100 different desires flowing out into the world, collect it all into one almighty love of God, in whichever form you worship. It could be Kali or Krishna or Christ, in whichever form. It's a great, great support in life. You will discover as you go through challenges in life, you're already at that stage of life where you are facing challenges in college. Especially, I was just talking in the United States, it's sometimes sad to see young people, at least I noticed one difference, where young people from Indian parents, they are being supported through college. But many of the kids from white families, I've noticed, they have to struggle through college. So they are doing 1 or 2 jobs. I saw one guy who studied in a really elite university in Southern California. And when it would close for summer, the dorms would be evacuated, emptied. The guy would be literally homeless because he cannot go back to his parents' home. Now, this kind of challenge, luckily you don't have to face it. But very soon, within few months, placement and then jobs will start, you will see a tremendous change coming over in your lives. So, a deep faith, a deep love, a deep reverence, a deep awe, a place where without questioning I will bow down and surrender. You're very lucky if you have got that. Or if you don't have it, develop it. It might seem mechanical at first, a devotional practice, but develop it. Do it regardless. Don't make a show of it. Make it very private. A moment of prayer, morning or evening, maybe a little shrine in your room, and you put a few flowers there. That is the devotional, emotional side of it. There is a lot of work in positive psychology on this front. Daniel Goleman, he gave a talk in Google showing that if you put a distribution of people, how they have succeeded in their careers at Google, you will find as far as IQ is concerned, there isn't much of a spread. Because more or less people have been selected on the basis of success, academic success. But you will find there's a great spread in terms of EQ, emotional quotient. And therefore, he shows the correlation between success at Google and other companies is correlated with the spread in EQ, not in IQ. More or less, with the places where you work, you already are in a place where more or less everybody is smart. But everybody does not have the same emotional management skills. And that makes a huge difference in your lives. This devotional aspect of spiritual life, it's a wonderful way of purifying and managing our emotions. Then, third, the final point I want to make here is, not just for I, me, myself. Selfless rather than selfish. One of the greatest ways to manage our mind and to get fulfillment in life is to make our lives about others rather than our own. Instead of being about I, me, myself, every leader in every industry knows, in every organization, not just industry, they know the persons who are willing, able to commit and open to doing stuff for others. It's not, they are the ones who succeed. Those who are team players. Always, you will see the leaders in industry, you'll ask them, what do you want? They will say that we want people who can work with others. It's the grades you get, how great a communicator you are, all those things are important but secondary. The ability to work with others and ability to work for others, that is valuable. It's valuable in industry, it's valuable in every organization you work for, it's valuable in the family. And it's above and most of all, it's valuable for you, for your own peace of mind. Swami Vivekananda says, selflessness, unselfishness is more paying, but it takes maturity to understand that. After a lot of struggle in life, working for I, me, myself after 20, 30, 40 years, you find what have I got? Nothing much. But notice what you have done for others. When you look back upon that, you will always remember it with satisfaction. Down the years and decades, what I have done for others without thinking of a return from them, that will always be a source of satisfaction. I know I can see many of the distinguished alumni here nodding because they have seen it in their own lives. It's not just theory for them. But this is something, and you can see it in your own class in your, the kids around you, the other students, those who are helpful to others, sort of naturally selfless. They are the popular ones. They are the ones who are respected. And often, they are the ones who succeed in life, not so much who get the best grades. I'll give you an example. That monk, my friend I told you about, extraordinarily smart monk, who was a topper in his engineering and all. I heard later, they have a yearbook from the IIT Kanpur, where they say which department this person belonged to in that batch. And so they wrote half humorously about this monk, about him, that he has a BTech, not only in computer science, but BTech in electrical, BTech in civil, BTech in mechanical, BTech in aviation. Why? Because apparently his door was open to students of all years and all disciplines. They would bring their problems to him, and he would sit and solve them for them. He was always open to helping others. So this altruistic, this openness, this bigness, this is a great way of making one's life fulfilling and being of great, make your life a blessing and be a blessing to those around you, in your family, among your friends, in the organizations you will work for. So summing up these 3 points, spiritualizing your life. One is managing the mind, especially managing your attention, especially concentration. That's one. Number 2 is devotion in some form. Maybe unfashionable to say this, but I must say it. I'm a monk. You've called me to say this, so I'll be failing in my duty if I don't share it with you. This is one of the greatest aids in spiritual life. Carl Jung, the great psychoanalyst, he says, I have always found that past middle age, most mental illnesses can be traced to a divorce between the client and his church. That means his religious beliefs. This lack of some deep transcendent belief. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up now. And finally, this openness to others, this selflessness, not selfishness. These are the 3 pillars, the practical aspects of Vedanta. Atman, Brahman, consciousness, all that is very high stuff, and that's wonderful philosophy. But it should be reflected in a focus in our lives, a deep devotion and surrender as a philosophy of life, and a commitment to the welfare of those around us. I pray to the divine, who is worshipped in all religions, to shower blessings on this institution, shower the blessings, protection for all of you here, especially the young persons who are here in their lives, years ahead, and all the other faculty, staff, the distinguished alumni here. May the blessings of the divine be upon all of us. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you for the patient hearing.
Thank you so much, Swamiji, for your inspiring words. We now have collected a couple of questions for the Q&A session. And yes, we would request you to answer them. So do we need a column? Okay. No, it's
Apparently we have questions. Your patience surprises me. Okay, what's the question? You can read it out.
We were talking about the attention economy, and mostly as students, this is something which we try to follow. We should, and we'll see what sort of questions we have. So,
Is it on? You can use this. Read out the question. Come and read out the question.
So the first question we have is, if a person has been emotionally traumatized by his family since childhood, how can he overcome that trauma in his adulthood and live happily?
Yeah. Not easy. Get help, but remember, take the responsibility upon yourself, that not the responsibility for the trauma, but the responsibility for turning your life around. Get help from counselors, distance yourself from the triggering situation, and engage yourself in something positive, something that draws your attention, keeps your attention, and you're doing something positive. It could be studies, it could be service, it could be a job, something that engages you productively. Because it is possible. People have turned their lives around after tremendously difficult lives. And I've always noticed that although you may be entirely justified, you have suffered a lot. However, to say that I am like this because of what they did to me is no solution. My life will continue to be miserable. I may have a kind of justification for why my life is miserable. That does not help me. My life still continues to be miserable. Whereas I have this opportunity to turn it around. Deal with the trauma. There is help available. But also rise up. Take the responsibility of your life upon yourself and make something of it. The more positive stuff there is in your life, the much easier it becomes to deal with that trauma.
Thank you. The next question is, what is the difference between solitude and loneliness? And how can anyone recognize spiritual progress or transformation in oneself?
Good question. Solitude and loneliness. Don't be lonely. Who's lonely? I don't have any friends, and I feel bad when I'm by myself. Well, when you are by yourself, who are you with? Yourself. And if you don't like your own company, why would anybody like your company? So you be first happy with yourself, and others will be happy with you. Let me give an example. In Gangotri, I was there at one time, staying in a hut, meditating, going out for bhiksha, a little bit of food, whatever we could get. And there used to be this sadhu in the next cottage. He was a Punjabi. And if you have seen the Lord of the Rings movies, have you heard of Gandalf the magician? Anybody seen those movies? Yeah? So like white robe, long beard, and exactly all the works. He was like that. And he would stay there. I heard he had stayed there for nearly 40 years. Most of us, we would go in the summer and come back. In winter, it was very harsh. It is very harsh. But he would stay all year long. So one day I saw the kids loved him because he had this long hair and tied up in bundles. One little boy was sitting in front of him and saying that, "Aap isse kya karte hain? Titi khelte hain?" This is his hair which is bundled up. So I asked him that, "Mahatma ji, you are here in summer, so many people come to meet you, it's wonderful. But in winter, when nobody is around, how do you live? Don't you feel lonely?" For 6 months, you hardly see a human face except the military patrols which come. And his answer was amazing. I still remember. This was 2004. He said in Hindi, "Arey Mahatma ji, ab main maje mein hu, aur tab aur bhi maje mein rehta hu." So I am very happy now with all of you around. And when nobody is around, in that bitter cold, I have to explain to Americans, cold there means not only cold outside, cold inside. If outside it's -10, inside also -10 in the house, in the cottage. So then, in that bitter cold and absolute solitude, I am happy. I am even happier then. Aur bhi maje mein rehta hu. Now that is the thing. There are many people today who crave company, who don't want to be alone. Not a good situation. There are some people who love solitude, but they feel uneasy in human company. As somebody said, that I love humanity. It's just people I cannot stand. So in abstract, it's great to love humanity, but you must be comfortable with people. So it takes strength. It takes strength to be comfortable in the company of people and also to be at peace when you are by yourself. That is solitude, not loneliness.
So oftentimes it is seen that those who are doing selfless service and spiritualizing life suffer the most in life as compared to those who are not spiritualizing lives. How do we incentivize or convince people to spiritualize?
If you say they suffer a lot, nobody will be incentivized. But let me tell you that is wrong. You think that. We may think that, oh, this guy is making millions of dollars on Wall Street and that guy is just working for poor people in a rural village in Bengal. No, 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 no. Ask that person. Almost everybody here, the distinguished alumni, they are either directly engaged in service activities or they have a component of service activities in their lives. Ask them that do they regret it? They will all tell you to a person, no, we don't regret it. It's in fact the most valuable thing in our lives. Once I was at a conference, one of your alumni, one of the most distinguished alumni this place has produced, Vinayak Lohani, who set up, Parivar, who set up this place. Yeah, you might well clap for him. I have known him for 25 years. And from the beginning of Parivar there, and it's a huge organization now. He got the President's Award and Padma Shri also. Very spiritual person, very humble person, deep thinker. For example, let me just give you one example. In a meeting with college students, somebody asked him 2 questions. One, how did you decide to do this work of taking care of these orphan children, disadvantaged children? And he said, I could not decide what was the aim of my life. See how useful it is. I could not decide what's the aim of my life. I was thinking, should I go in for a multinational job like all of my batchmates? My heart said, no, I'm not all that interested. Should I go in for an academic life like the researchers and the professors, my faculty, teachers? Again, my heart says, I'm not enthused about it. But then he said, he went through that process. What is it that I don't want to do? And then he discovered, he saw those children outside on the street and he said, these are the kids who need my help right now. And he jumped in. And there's another thing. Somebody here said, take decisive action. You cannot, perfection is the enemy of action, of execution. And I remember some young men came to me and said, we are setting up this non-profit, this NGO, and this is the plan. I said, what have you done so far? Said, nothing. They have to collect funds. There's a board had to be set up. The bylaws have to be framed. I said, look, this person, Vinayak, what did he do first? He first picked up kids from the street and started educating them, feeding them, taking care of them. Organization, bylaws, board, all that will come later. Somebody asked him in my presence, that this gentleman, Vinayak, how did you get this idea? And he said, it did not start with an idea. It started with a feeling. These are sutras. If you want to do anything great in life, it should start with a feeling. The idea comes next. And the importance of management education also comes. This is something I have noticed. There are so many NGOs with all idealistic people, but not all of them succeed. He has succeeded enormously because of not only his idealism, not only his passion, but also the training he has received here. How to manage all that, how to maximize the results there. So this is the thing that, they are not losers. I was once on a platform with Vinayak, and there used to be, I don't know if it's still there, Super 30, there's this in Bihar, this selected kids, and one Anand, he was there. So he was on the stage, and I think Vinayak was there, and there was another person from Mysore, one person from Chennai, who has a chain of dosa shops and all. He's an ex-IIM graduate, is very, very, very famous. I don't know if some of you are nodding, you know the name, I've forgotten the name. So they were all sitting there. And somebody asked the same question. You are all brilliant people. You could be making millions in Silicon Valley or Wall Street or something. So don't you feel you have lost something, And all of them smiled and said, not at all. If right now you give me the option that I will stop doing this and go to a corporate career, no, we will never do it. So you may feel that they have lost out. They don't feel it at all. Yes.
So if everyone spiritualizes life, how will businesses earn profits and economies prosper? almost invariably, we have seen prosperity breeds hubris and hegemony. Please enlighten how to achieve both.
Right. Inevitably, as you said at the end, prosperity brings hubris and hegemony. There's a documentary which was there maybe long before your time. The Smartest Guys in the Room, Enron. Huh? You should see that documentary. What being smart, being ambitious, without any limits, what it can do. What it can do. What damage it can do, left, right, and center. Smartest Guys in the Room. Thrilling documentary. In contrast to that, what is the slogan in Google you'll find? Don't be evil. So, companies which are ethical, which uphold standards, they will continue to prosper, they will continue to earn margins and profits and be successful. And there is really no doubt about it. They are the sustainable ones. Others will go down the Enron route. So, it's not that ethics is against prosperity. Ethics is the groundwork for prosperity. In the traditional scheme of values in Indian philosophy, you have dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Kama, pleasure. Artha, prosperity, power, success, achievement. Dharma is a wide term including morality, religion, ethics, and moksha, spiritual freedom. But notice, in India, we never say kama, artha, dharma. We always say dharma, artha, kama. On the basis of ethics, on the basis of an ethical life, pursue your goals, pursue pleasure, pursue wealth, pursue success within the Lakshman Rekha of ethics. It could be your own standard. Make up your mind, these are the standards of decency. I want to, in my own heart of hearts, I want to see myself as a decent person, as a good person. And this is the level below which I will not fall, no matter whatever the possible rewards of that. So on the basis of that, one can definitely achieve a very prosperous, successful, and fulfilling life. Fulfilling life. It's entirely possible.
So we'll take one last question from here and maybe one or two questions from the audience. So how can...
online questions?
Yes, yesterday we had floated a form and the audience had responded there as well. We got a lot of questions, but here are, in the interest of time, we have to move ahead. So how can you keep yourself detached from the fruits of your labor and yet be passionate about your work? Also, knowing the fact that everything is Brahman and we are dreaming, whereas change is the only constant, most of the time we fail to console ourselves or accept those changes and are consequently getting demoralized, depressed, or cornered. What should be our practice to conquer this?
Yes, this is the question about do your work, but don't be concerned with the results of that work. But one must understand that in context. Because immediately, if you think about it, the first question will be, why should I do something if I don't get the result of that? I want the result of that. In fact, I would rather get the result without doing the work, but if I have to do the work, I will do the work. The result is absolutely necessary. And that's true. One must not misunderstand. When karma yoga is suggested by Krishna, there is a result. The result, however, what you're looking at is not the worldly result, the money or the power or the recognition that comes, but the spiritual result, the inner result of this inner spiritual development. And that result definitely you're looking for. You cannot say, I don't want that also. Do you want that? That's why you're doing it. Let me give you the example. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Gandhiji. I love this anecdote about him. You see, he writes that when people ask, who are you? If you ask me, who am I? People say many things. People say that I am a freedom fighter, I am a politician, I'm a social reformer, I am a, he was a writer, 100 volumes, complete works of Gandhiji. So an extremely busy person, extremely busy person. But he said, if you ask me, who are you? I will say, I am a simple man in search of God. Now see, what a brilliant insight. It is true that he was a politician. He was the most eminent politician of his time. It's true that he was a freedom fighter. It's true that he was a social reformer on a massive scale. He was an educationist and a writer and a spiritual seeker, all of that. But to him, from his perspective, all the time, whatever he's doing only one thing. He's searching for God. So this integration of our work for a spiritual purpose, this is the detachment from results. Whatever results come, he is pursuing his goal of spiritual realization. And I think as we go through life, we begin to come to some approximation of that, some kind of, you begin to see what he means.
I would like to request the audience if there is anyone who would want to question.
Yes. One question.
We can allow at max 2. So that she forgot to mention, but we have to finish off on time. So keep your question precise, not all the clarifications.
Namaste Swamiji.
Yeah, tell us your name and ask the question.
So my name's Geet. I'm from the 2022 batch. So I flew down from Delhi just to attend your lecture yesterday and today.
Yeah.
So I quite grasped the concept that there's a duality of observer and observation in Advaita Vedanta. While I can intellectually and experientially grasp the concept that I am the observer who is beyond the minds as I can observe my thoughts.
Yes.
But the true I, they say it stands beyond both. So I just wanted to know what are the best ways for me to grasp that concept of I experience, to experience that concept of I rather than understand it intellectually.
Yes. But notice you just said, I understand it intellectually and I can see experientially. See, right now you're looking at me, you're speaking. Is this an intellectual understanding or is it an experience?
This is an experience.
And also intellectual understanding. I understand what's going on here and I am experiencing it. It was here in Calcutta, 1 or 2 years back, I was giving this same talk, and in the Q&A, one lady indignantly, she came to the front of the line to ask a question. All this is nice, Swamiji, but it's all theoretical. And I said, Madam, not one thing I've said is theoretical. Is it theoretical that you are standing here and asking me a question? No, it's a fact. It is theoretical that you have a body? Of course it's a fact. Is it theoretical look inside that there is a mind? No, it's a fact. And that you are aware of the body-mind, and through the body-mind you are aware of the world, that you are conscious. Is it theory or is it a fact? It's a fact. We are experiencing it all the time. What Vedanta does, it clears up this confusion that we are body-mind. If you just take a look at our experience and let us be guided by the Vedantic pointing, then we begin to see, earlier I thought I was a, body-mind consciousness, a body with consciousness. Now, I think it's more true to say, I am consciousness with a body. So that unlocks the key. The rest will follow. Thank you.
One last question. So, if anyone is interested.
Nobody? I'm reminded of, there is somebody? No. Okay, everybody wants to go home. I'm reminded of Kathopanishad. Nachiketa and Yamaraj. So Yamaraj told the little boy Nachiketa, you get 3 boons. And Nachiketa asked first boon, second boon. And this was a theatrical play being performed by children. I was there. And the play was not going well. The children had forgotten their lines. The audience were mostly parents. They were enjoying it, amused, they were laughing. And finally, 3rd boon. Nachiketa, the Yamaraj is asking Nachiketa, Mango, Tisra var Mango, ask for the 3rd boon. And somebody from the audience said, tell him I don't want anything, then we can go home. So we are at that stage now, but I thoroughly enjoyed your company, and I pray for the welfare of everybody present here, and especially this institute and all its future endeavors. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a small token of appreciation for Swamiji. I would request the volunteers to come and greet.
May I now invite Shri Alok Chandra, the Chief Administrative Officer of IIM Calcutta, to come on dais and announce the names of the Institute's employees who entered 25th year of their services this year.
Thank you, Ishita. Respected Swamiji, respected our chairperson, respected director, faculty members, officers, staff, dear students, and esteemed guests. Namaskar. Today, as we celebrate the Foundation Day of the Institute, we gather not just to mark another year of excellence, but to honor and felicitate the dedication and commitment of our incredible team members comprising of faculty, officers, and staff who have entered into their 25th year of service with the Institute. It is indeed a proud moment for all of us to honor these employees who have contributed immensely towards the growth and development of our great institute. It is due to their untiring efforts that we stand today with our place as one of the premier management institute of the country. Please join us in congratulating our colleagues on reaching this milestone on this very special occasion. I would like to request our respected director, Professor Alok Kumar Rai, to give our esteemed employees a token of appreciation and remembrance for the yeoman service to the Institute. I would like to start with Professor Subrato Mitra, who joined this institute on 30th March 2001 in Operations Management Group and has served the institute diligently over the years. His contributions have shaped the lives of countless students, influenced industry practices, and strengthened our reputation as a leading business school. Professor Mitra is not able to attend this program today due to some urgent personal engagement. We miss him here today. A big round of applause for Professor Subrato Mitra. Now may I request Sri Arup Das, accountant, to come on stage to receive this memento. Sri Das joined this institute on 17 November 2000 and has served in various departments, including estate and maintenance, admissions, dispatch, and fellow program and research departments of this institute. A big round of applause for Sri Arup Das. Now I would like to request Sri Priya Bandhu Saha, Junior Office Superintendent, to come on stage to receive this memento. Sri Saha joined this institute on 22nd May 2001 and he has been working in the MBA office since joining. A big round of applause again for Sri Saha. Next, I would request Sri Sunil Kumar Srivastav, Junior Office Superintendent, to come on stage to receive this memento. Sri Srivastava joined this institute on 5th October 2001 and has served in various departments, including IPC office and personal department of this institute. A big round of applause for Sri Srivastava. Now I would like to request Srimati Shoma Ghosh, Junior Office Superintendent, to come on stage to receive this memento. Srimati Ghosh joined this institute on 5th October 2001 and has served in various departments, including library, personal department, MBA office, director office, and CO office. A big round of applause for Srimati Ghosh. Thank you all for being part of this grand occasion. Thank you so much.
The 2025 Foundation Day celebration is the culmination of efforts of several individuals. May I request Professor Bhaskar Chakraborty, Dean, Academic Programs, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ishita. Swamiji, your talk today was quietly transformative, very much in your trademark style. You reminded us that spirituality is practical and actually doesn't require a cave in the Himalayas, though after our end-term examinations, some of our students might still consider it. You showed us how the deepest insights can live right alongside our strategy models and our existential angst about placements as enormous potentials await us in India, like the Zoho model. You led us into the heart of spiritual life by addressing the faith in oneself and in the Almighty in some form, as you said, through that persistent sense of improving the quality of consciousness. You offered spirituality not as a retreat, but as an everyday practical journey, a courageous act of turning inward to ask, how do we manage our minds? You also gave us a wonderfully balanced roadmap. What we attend to and how much attention we give to it, or finding that narrow band where the ability and the challenge match, or practicing selflessness, all functioning like an integrated curriculum for inner clarity, a curriculum even our academic council would have trouble improving. Incidentally, Swamiji, IIM Calcutta students have a tagline when you are talking about selflessness. They say, leave no one behind. On behalf of the chairman of our Board of Governors, Sri Krishna Kulkarni, Director Professor Alok Kumar Rai, staff, students, alumni, and faculty, we thank you, Swamiji, for today's lecture. We'd also like to extend our warm appreciation to all our distinguished Alumni Award winners. Your journeys continue to broaden what is possible for this community and remind us that the spirit of IIM Calcutta takes many remarkable forms, from impacts in responsible AI to rural development, from entrepreneurship to IT services. Thank you to everyone who completed 25 years of service at our institute. And a very special thank to our office staff who have worked with extraordinary patience and energy to make this celebration come together. Finally, thank you to the entire organizing team of our students and to all of you for being such a wonderful audience. May we conclude with a request to Swamiji to please consider IIM Calcutta your home, and we look forward to welcoming you back. Thank you all.
I request all the distinguished Alumnus Award recipients and the chief guest to please come on stage together for a group photograph. Can be. I don't know. I'm not sure. Requesting everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
Jana Gana Mana Adhina